Chapter 1254. Time passed day by day. Although the Zhou family tried their best to block the news of Donghe Bo and the others dying in the Zhou mansion still spread like the wind, causing an uproar in the Azure Thunder County. Just as the low-key Zhou family was pushed to the edge of the waves, the master of the Earthine sect, Ruoshi, accompanied by two old men in black, arrived at the Zhou mansion. "Master Yin, why are you here?" Zhou Shanlong didn't know about the deal between Yi Chunfeng and Ruoshi, so he was surprised to see her here. He politely invited her into the Zhou mansion. "Master Zhou, I'm here today to visit young Master Yi." Ruoshi smiled and explained her purpose. "Young Master Yi has been in seclusion, so we don't dare to disturb him." Zhou Shanlong had already guessed the purpose of Ruoshi's visit, so he said awkwardly, "It's okay, we can wait." Ruoshi didn't mind and said softly, "No need to wait." Suddenly, a figure appeared outside the hall. Yi Chunfeng's remnant soul in the Zhou mansion sensed the arrival of Ruoshi and the others and immediately came out of seclusion. "Have you gathered everything on the prescription?" Yi Chunfeng glanced at Ruoshi, who was wearing a tight black dress and exuding an invisible charm like a ripe peach, and said lightly, "I've gathered everything except the 3 suns grass." Ruoshi slowly stood up, revealing a charming smile, and said softly, "But I'm here today for something else." She had heard about what happened to the Zhou family a while ago, but she didn't expect Yi Chunfeng to be so ruthless that he killed Donghe Bo and the 2 grand elders of the Donghe clan. What surprised her even more was that this matter caused an uproar. The Donghe clan even reported what happened to their family to the Thunder clan, asking the Thunder clan to seek justice for them. But until now, the Zhou family hadn't been punished by the Thunder clan, which made her curious about Yi Chunfeng's identity. "What's the matter?" Yi Chunfeng looked at Ruoshi's charming face and said without a trace of emotion, "I'm here today to invite young master to attend the auction in Golden Thunder City in 5 days." Ruoshi explained. Yi Chunfeng's eyes lit up, revealing a hint of interest. He asked, "I wonder what the scale of this auction is like." "Don't worry, young Master Yi. I know you have high standards. How would I dare to invite you to an ordinary auction?" Ruoshi wanted to get closer to Yi Chunfeng, so she lowered her attitude and spoke with a pleasant voice. "Can I bring 3 more people with me?" Yi Chunfeng asked. Of course. The Earthine sect was the 4th largest power in the Thunder region. They had an extremely deep background. They could easily obtain a mere 4 spots. "All right, we will arrive at the Golden Thunder City in 4 days." Yi Chunfeng nodded and said, "Then we will be waiting for young Master Yi in Golden Thunder City." After she finished speaking, Ruoshi didn't stay for long. She left under the respectful escort of Zhou Shanlong and the others. Golden Thunder City was one of the large cities under the jurisdiction of the Thunder clan. It was also a famous trading city in the Thunder territory. Because of the upcoming auction, Golden Thunder City had become unprecedentedly lively. From time to time, one could see the silhouettes of Nirvana realm masters roaming the streets. It was so lively. This Golden Thunder City was worthy of being the symbolic city of the Thunder region. It was much more prosperous than Izhou City. Walking on the noisy street, Zhou Qianni revealed a trace of excitement. On the other hand, Zhou Shui was much calmer. She silently followed behind Yi Chunfeng, constantly sizing up Yi Chunfeng. She felt that he was unfathomable. His figure was imprinted in the depths of her soul. "Let's go to the market and see if there are any treasures to be found." There was still 1 day before the auction began. Yi Chunfeng didn't go to the residence arranged by the Earthine sect to rest. Instead, he took Zhou Qianni and the others to the bustling market. There were so many people in the market. When they arrived at the market, Zhou Qianni saw that the market was crowded. Every stall was filled with people. It wasn't easy to squeeze in. However, Yi Chunfeng didn't squeeze in. Instead, he extended the soul force of his God-Eater brain to each stall and sifted through the treasures. "Let's go over there and take a look." After walking for a while, Yi Chunfeng's eyes lit up. He took Zhou Qianni and the others to the northwest. There was a stall with strange crystals. "Boss, how much is this crystal?" Yi Chunfeng picked up a fist-sized gray stone with a bumpy surface. It looked ordinary. He controlled his god-eater brain to sense it and asked, "The hidden stones in my stall are 100,000 top-grade soul crystals each. No bargaining." An old man in a gray robe with wrinkles on his face and a shrewd look in his round eyes slightly raised his eyelids and said in a hoarse voice, "Why are these hidden stones so expensive? 100,000 top-grade soul crystals were equivalent to 10 million top-grade soul crystals." Zhou Qianni couldn't help but gasp when he heard the price. What does a kid know? There may be amazing treasures hidden in these hidden stones. The value of those treasures is definitely more than 100,000 top-grade soul crystals. The old man in gray said in a hoarse voice, "I'll buy these 3 stones. Here are 300,000 top-grade soul crystals." Yi Chenfeng took out a universe ring and gave it to the old man in gray. He picked up 3 seemingly ordinary hidden stones and was about to leave. Suddenly, a delicate fragrance wafted into the noses of Yi Chenfeng and the others. A tall and slender woman in an emerald green silk dress came to the stall. She had a perfect oval face, delicate facial features, and an elegant temperament. She stared at the hidden stones in the stall with her bright eyes. When Zhou Qianni saw the lady in green, he was immediately attracted by her beauty and couldn't help himself. "Boss, how much are these crystals?" The lady in green looked at the hidden stones in the stall and asked. 100,000 top-grade soul crystals each, the old man in gray said. "So expensive?" The lady in green frowned slightly and hesitated. "Miss, if you are willing to give me the 3 sungrass in your universe ring, I will help you choose a hidden stone that suits you." Yi Chenfeng glanced at the universe ring on the slender finger of the green-dressed woman as he slowly said, How do you know I have the 3 sungrass?" The lady in green's face changed slightly and looked at Yi Chenfeng with vigilance. As for the 4 white-haired old men who followed the green-dressed woman, they also revealed intense hostility. Waves of terrifying auras were emitted from their aged bodies as they locked onto Yi Chenfeng. "Miss, don't be angry. My big brother has no ill intentions." Zhou Qianni's face changed slightly when he felt the hostility in the eyes of the lady in green and the others. He quickly said, "That's right. I have no ill intentions. You won't lose out if you trade with me." Yi Chenfeng smiled and said with a calm expression, "You can really see through these hidden stones?" The old man in gray's turbid eyes shot out rays of light as he wanted to see through Yi Chenfeng. The storage stone was a very special stone in the Lightning Dominion. It contained treasures, but the storage stone contained a mysterious power. Even a Nirvana heavenly realm expert wouldn't be able to penetrate the storage stone with their soul and sense the truth of the stone. "Forget it. If you don't want to trade, let's go." Yi Chenfeng didn't answer the old man in gray. He was about to leave with Zhou Qianni and the others who were looking at the lady in green. "Wait, if you can cut something that interests me from the hidden stone, I will give you the 3 sungrass." Seeing that Yi Chenfeng didn't hesitate and was about to leave, the lady in green bit her lips and suddenly shouted, "Okay, deal." Yi Chenfeng stopped walking and immediately agreed with a faint smile on his face. Mobile reading site. Book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button below to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1255. This stone is the most valuable among all the stones, and the treasure inside is also the most suitable for you. The woman in the green dress gave 100,000 soul crystals to the gray-clothed old man as if she was making a bet. Yi Chenfeng helped her pick out the smallest one among the many hidden stones. It was completely grayish-brown in color and looked extremely inconspicuous. "Are you sure this stone contains treasures?" Looking at the egg-sized stone that Yi Chenfeng picked out for her, the green-dressed woman was doubtful. She regretted her rashness and believed Yi Chenfeng so easily. "That's right, the treasure in this stone is definitely suitable for you." Yi Chenfeng nodded and said without hesitation, "Kid, I advise you not to lie to the Nangong family, or else I promise you will regret it." An elder behind the green-dressed woman warned coldly. Nangong family after knowing the identity of the green-dressed woman and the others. The crowd couldn't help but gasp. Zhou Qianni, who had been looking at the green-dressed woman, was even more shocked. The Nangong family's strength was even more terrifying than the earthly Yin sect. There were two Nirvana patriarchs in the family, and together with the Mirror Moon sect, they were second only to the Lei clan in the Lightning region. No one can make me regret. Yi Chunfeng's pupils shrank as he looked at the elder coldly and said, "You can't either. You." The Nangong elder's expression changed as his old body emitted a strong, murderous aura. The conflict between Yi Chunfeng and the Nangong family attracted a lot of attention. More people looked at Yi Chunfeng with ridicule. They didn't believe that he could see through the stone that even the Nirvana, heavenly realm cultivators couldn't see through. Fifth Elder, don't be angry. Let me cut open this stone first. Looking at the calm and fearless Yi Chunfeng, the lady in the green dress bit her lips lightly. She took out a sharp dagger from her universe ring and began to pry open the treasure-storing stone, forcefully breaking open the extremely hard shell of the treasure-storing stone. The stone shell was very hard, and it wasn't easy to break it open. However, the dagger in the green-dressed woman's hand was made of a special material. It was very hard, and with her strength, she broke open a corner of the stone shell after some effort. Then, a powerful water attribute energy was released from the skinning stone. Treasure, there really is a treasure in this stone. The green-dressed woman's eyes widened as she looked at the stone that was emitting water attribute energy. Her delicate face was filled with disbelief. Not only was the green-dressed woman stunned by this scene, the gray-clothed old man who was selling the gem of concealment and the surrounding crowd were also shocked. The way they looked at Yi Chunfeng changed greatly. If I'm not wrong, Miss possesses the rare ice spiritual body. Furthermore, the treasure contained within this treasure-storing stone is an ancient water-attributed spirit root. It is very suitable for Miss to cultivate. Yi Chunfeng said indifferently as he looked at the flabbergasted lady, who was unable to calm down for a long time. "You can see my constitution?" The green-dressed woman was even more shocked. The secret of her constitution was only known by a handful of people in the entire Thunder region. She didn't expect Yi Chunfeng to see through her constitution. "Now, can you give me the Three Suns grass?" Yi Chunfeng didn't reply to the green-dressed woman's question and asked faintly. "Okay, this Three Suns grass is yours." Although she didn't see the true appearance of the treasure in the stone, the green-dressed woman estimated the value of the treasure from the water attribute energy of the stone. She looked at Yi Chunfeng deeply and took out a fiery red Three Suns grass from her Chinquan ring and gave it to him. "Let's go." After speaking, Yi Chunfeng was about to leave with Zhou Qianni and the others who fell in love with the green-dressed woman at first sight. "Wait, how did you do it?" "In my memory, no one can see through the stone." The gray-robed old man grabbed Yi Chunfeng's arm and looked at him as if he was looking at a rare treasure. If Yi Chunfeng could really see through the stone, they would be too terrifying. The gray-robed old man was very eager to know how Yi Chunfeng saw through the stone. As long as he could grasp the method, he was willing to pay any price. Blinded, Yi Chunfeng looked at the gray-robed old man whose wrinkles had completely smoothed out and said faintly, "Tell me the method to see through the stone, and I can give you treasures that you can't even imagine." The gray-robed old man couldn't hide his greed and said temptingly, "I said blinded." Yi Chunfeng's pupils constricted and the power in his 5 acupoints exploded. He forcefully shook off the gray-robed old man's right hand and turned to leave. "Kid, since you don't want to tell me, then don't blame me for using other methods." Looking at Yi Chunfeng's back as he left, the gray-robed old man's eyes turned cold. His turbid eyes revealed a sinister look. "Brother Yi, that old man won't let it go so easily." When Yi Chunfeng and the rest left, Zhou Qianni said worriedly, "It's okay. If he wants to die, I'll fulfill his wish." Yi Chunfeng said faintly without a trace of worry on his face. After leaving the market, Yi Chunfeng went to the place that Yin Ruoshi had arranged for them. It was a quiet courtyard to rest. When he arrived at the courtyard, Yi Chunfeng didn't see Yin Ruoshi, but she had already arranged everything. After confirming Yi Qinfeng's identity, the people of the earthly Yin sect immediately invited Yi Qinfeng and the rest in. After settling in, Yi Qinfeng went to the luxurious room and set up a soundproof seal. He took out the 3 hidden stones that he had bought with 300,000 top-grade soul crystals. He used the dragon's pine sacred sword to forcefully break open the hard stone shell of the hidden stone, revealing a drop of dark gold essence blood that flickered with lightning. The God-Eater brain's senses were right. This hidden stone contained a drop of thunder rock essence blood. After cutting open the first hidden stone, Yi Qinfeng obtained a drop of thunder rock essence blood that was extremely valuable and useful to him. Then, Yi Qinfeng used the dragon's pine sacred sword to cut open the second hidden stone. From the third hidden stone, he obtained a body-tempering sacred item, ancient thunder root, and an ancient hidden fruit that was over 300,000 years old and contained a huge amount of spirituality. This hidden stone was indeed magical. The value of the thunder rock essence blood alone was probably more than 10 million top-grade soul crystals. Yi Qinfeng was quite satisfied with this harvest. He sucked the thunder rock essence blood into his stomach and used the soul-devouring tactics to refine it, increasing his own strength and the quality of the golden rock bloodline. When Yi Qinfeng was refining the golden rock bloodline in his room until midnight, a silent figure appeared outside the courtyard. When he wanted to use his absolute strength to forcefully tear open the seal, a blurry figure appeared not far from him and said coldly, "You still came. If you want to catch me, then come with me." After saying that, Yi Qinfeng, who sensed danger in advance and appeared in time, burned his golden rock bloodline. Like a large bird, he tore through the pitch-black night sky and flew out of Golden Thunder City with a gray-robed old man who harbored ill intentions. Mobile reading site, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record this book. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1256. The night was getting darker and darker. The bright moonlight shone on the forest, creating specks of stars. Brat, I find that you are quite daring. You clearly know that I want to capture you, yet you still dare to bring me here alone. It seems that you don't put me in your eyes at all. The gray-clothed old man followed Yi Qinfeng, who was flying in extremely fast speed, and arrived at a gloomy mountain forest to the northwest of Golden Thunder City. You are right. I really don't take you seriously. Yi Qinfeng slowly turned around and looked at the gray-robed elder who was exuding killing intent calmly. Kid, don't think that you are invincible just because you have some special means. Today, I will let you know that there is always someone better than you out there. As he spoke, a terrifying force was awakened in the gray-robed elder's body, instantly shattering several thick ancient trees around him. He was like an invincible god of war, controlling Yi Qinfeng's life and death. Nirvana sensing the strength of the gray-robed elder, Yi Qinfeng still did not show any fear on his face. Although with his current strength, he was still unable to defeat the Nirvana Realm Almighty. He had too many helpers. The Nirvana Realm Almighty couldn't cause any harm to him. Kid, I'm going to ask you one last time. Are you willing to tell me the method to see through the skinning stone? If not, don't blame me for capturing you, searching your soul, and refining alive. The gray-robed elder revealed his ferocious side as he threatened. Don't waste any more time. Make your move. With a thought, Yi Qinfeng summoned the dragon's pine sacred sword and raised it high as he replied domineeringly. Sacred weapon. You actually have a sacred weapon. Sensing the level of the dragon's spine sacred sword, the gray-robed elder's eyes were filled with greed. Sacred weapons were the top treasures in the Central World. The gray-robed elder had always dreamed of having one. Now that the sacred weapon was right in front of him, his killing intent intensified. Kid, no matter who you are or what your identity is, you have to die today. With that said, the gray-robed old man summoned a powerful array diagram. It sealed the entire space and trapped Yi Qinfeng within the array diagram. Then, a quasi-saint artifact grade long sword with a wide blade and a dragon-shaped tool pattern appeared in his hand. It turned into a cold light and attacked Yi Qinfeng. Straight line, Yi Qinfeng did not summon any helpers. Instead, he wielded the dragon spine, sacred sword, and faced the attack head-on. As the sword pierced out, an ear-piercing sound rang out in the air. This sword light seemed to have come from hell. It carried the power of death as it collided with the sword light of the gray-robed old man. Kathy, two sword lights collided with each other, and a series of explosive sounds burst out. The fiercely repulsive sword lights continued to shatter, and the sharp sword points collided with each other. In the next moment, Yi Qinfeng released more than 100 million pounds of strength from his body. He wanted to rely on his strength to resist the gray-robed old man's attack. However, the strength of Nirvana's Almighty was too terrifying. The 100 million pounds of strength was unable to shake the gray-robed old man's Tao energy. The extremely hard dragon spine, sacred sword's tip, was forcefully bent. A powerful rebounding force passed through the dragon spine, sacred sword, and into Yi Qinfeng's arm, causing him to stagger back 3 steps before stabilizing his body. I didn't expect you to be able to resist my attack with your level 5 combat Beast Emperor strength. Seeing Yi Qinfeng being forced back by his sword, the gray-robed old man revealed a surprised expression. However, he did not slow down his attack. Instead, he suddenly accelerated and turned into an afterimage, launching a fatal attack at Yi Qinfeng. He wanted to quickly injure him and capture him alive to force out his secrets. 3 great bloodlines ignite facing the gray-robed old man's ferocious attack. Yi Qinfeng did not hesitate to ignite his 3 great bloodlines, greatly increasing his strength. He held the dragon spine, sacred sword in his hand, and faced the attack with all his strength. He wanted the gray-robed old man to determine his true strength and the gap between him and Nirvana. Buzz, the lightning-like sword rays continuously attacked each other in midair. Yi Qinfeng and the gray-robed old man turned into afterimages as they fought fiercely. Although Yi Qinfeng had ignited his 3 great bloodlines, he was still unable to resist the gray-robed old man's ferocious attack and was quickly suppressed. However, Yi Qinfeng's physical defense was too terrifying. Coupled with the fact that he was wearing a quasi-sacred tool, the glazed flame profound armor, the gray-robed old man was unable to injure his body in a short period of time. Quasi-sacred tool armor. Where did this kid come from? How could the grade of his treasures be so high? Although Yi Qinfeng's attack was suppressed, the gray-robed old man became more and more alarmed as the battle went on. He guessed that Yi Qinfeng's identity was not simple. It was impossible for an ordinary person to have so many treasures that made him jealous. Cosmos Sword Formation Yi Qinfeng, who was at a complete disadvantage, formed an array with a thought. 81 Cosmos swords flew out of his body and quickly condensed into a sword diagram, neutralizing the gray-robed old man's continuous attacks. These 81 top-grade Tao swords, sensing the grade of the 81 Cosmos swords, the gray-robed old man's heart was in turmoil. He could not believe that Yi Qinfeng actually had so many treasures that made him jealous. Apart from being shocked, the gray-robed old man was secretly delighted. He had a feeling that if he could kill Yi Qinfeng and obtain his treasures and secrets, he would definitely be able to successfully advance to the Nirvana heavenly realm. Rumble, 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 thunderous sounds rang out from the gray-robed old man's body. In order to quickly kill Yi Qinfeng, he revealed a great trump card. He summoned a ball of extremely powerful ancient heavenly lightning and blasted it toward Yi Qinfeng. He wanted to blast open the Cosmos Sword Formation and shatter Yi Qinfeng's body. Sky-incinerating sacred flame Yi Qinfeng did not dodge when the ancient heavenly lightning arrived. Instead, he spat out specks of sky-incinerating sacred flame to meet it. Among the 5 elements, fire countered metal. In addition, the sky-incinerating sacred flame's grade was far above the ancient heavenly lightning. When it collided with the ancient heavenly lightning, it immediately weakened the ancient heavenly lightning to the extreme. Following that, The purple beginning's sacred lightning surged out of Yi Qinfeng's body. It directly blasted through the constantly melting ancient heavenly lightning. It turned into a stream of lightning that blasted towards the gray-robed old man who was using all his strength to defend. Cosmos Sword Formation. Cosmos Strike as the gray-robed old man relied on his absolute strength to resist the purple beginning's sacred lightning. Yi Qinfeng controlled the 81 Cosmos swords to fuse together. They turned into a huge Cosmos sword that was dozens of feet long and slashed at the gray-robed old man. Yi Qinfeng pushed the power of this strike to the extreme. Layers of air were completely torn apart. A deep sword scar appeared in the space in front of the gray-robed old man, as if the entire space was about to collapse. Boom! The gray-robed old man spat out a Gudao treasure, but it was shattered by Yi Qinfeng's strike. The terrifying sword might constantly battered the gray-robed old man's body, forcing him to take 3 steps back. Without giving the gray-robed old man a chance to catch his breath, Yi Qinfeng's soul force erupted. He cast a stun technique into the gray-robed old man's sea of soul, causing him to feel slightly dizzy. Sword of Extinction Black Dragon. While the gray-robed old man's reaction was delayed, Yi Qinfeng used the mid-grade saint skill he had learned from the Jian Huang and slashed at the gray-robed old man. As the sword slashed down, a black dragon appeared. The sky seemed to be split by the black dragon's sword radiance. A terrifying sword scar tore through layers of space, stretching more than dozens of feet. It wanted to split the gray-robed old man in half. At the critical moment, the gray-robed old man, who had come back to his senses, summoned a quasi-holy treasure-level bronze bowl. He spat 2 mouthfuls of essence blood into the bronze bowl. He controlled the bronze bowl to grow continuously like an awakened ancient beast. It trampled on space and directly shattered Yi Qinfeng's Black Dragon of Absolutes, breaking Yi Qinfeng's killing move. Mobile reading home, book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You can see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1257. Vajra Bronze Bull, kill him for me. The gray-robed elder took a deep breath and condensed the metal, wind, and death Dao diagrams. He controlled the 3 Dao diagrams to inject a large amount of Dao into the Vajra Bronze Bull, increasing its attack power and launching a fatal attack on Yi Qinfeng. Luo Hun Bell, the Vajra Bronze Bull, turned into a dazzling golden light and crashed over. Yi Qinfeng immediately summoned the Luo Hun Bell to block in front of him, blocking the fatal collision of the Vajra Bronze Bull. Buzz! The 2 quasi-holy treasures collided with each other like 2 meteorites colliding. The sound of clouds breaking and stones breaking erupted. The terrifying power directly razed the forest within a 1-mile radius to the ground. I'd like to see how many treasures you have, but no matter how many treasures you have, they won't be able to save your life. The gray-robed elder controlled the Vajra Bronze Bull to attack with all his strength. The terrifying impact made the Luo Hun Bell let out a loud sound, bringing great pressure to Yi Qinfeng. 9 Flood Dragon diagram. Seeing that the Luo Hun Bell in front of him couldn't withstand the all-out attack of the Vajra Bronze Bull, Yi Qinfeng summoned the middle-grade Sacred Treasure 9 Flood Dragon diagram. The next moment, the Life and Death Dao diagram, the Heaven and Earth Dao diagram, the 5 Elements Dao diagram, and the Sword Dao diagram appeared on his body, releasing a large number of Dao patterns and injecting them into the 9 Flood Dragon diagram, increasing its attack power. Of the 4 Dao diagrams, 3 of them are the most profound fusion Dao diagrams. How'd he do it? The gray-robed elder's eyes widened as he looked at the 4 Dao diagrams that appeared on Yi Qinfeng's body. He looked as if he had seen a ghost. He had lived for 20,000 years and cultivated to nirvana, but he had only cultivated 3 Dao diagrams. Yi Qinfeng was only a 5th-grade combat beast emperor, but he had cultivated 4 Dao diagrams. These 4 Dao diagrams were many times more profound than the Dao diagrams that he had cultivated. The sword Dao diagram, which was filled with nearly 200 sword Dao patterns, shocked the gray-robed elder even more. It made him wonder if Yi Chunfeng was the reincarnation of an old monster. Otherwise, with his age and strength, how could he cultivate Dao will to such an extent? 9 Flood Dragon Diagram Destroy. Yi Chunfeng controlled the 9 Flood Dragon Diagram to continue attacking the gray-robed elder. He wanted to use the power of the middle-grade sacred treasure to severely injure him. Sky Splitter at the critical moment. The gray-robed old man summoned a quasi-sage treasure. It was a dark green longbow with 2 beast heads embedded in it. He quickly pulled the bowstring and used all the Dao energy in his body as an arrow to shoot at the 9 flood dragon spirits that were attacking him. Under the attack of the powerful dark green arrows, the 9 Jiao dragon spirits formed by the 9 Jiao dragon diagram were continuously damaged. In the end, the Jiao dragon spirits were killed by the gray-robed old man and exploded in midair. Sword Puppet, Chaos Divine Beast, Marquis Qianming, come out quickly. Yi Chunfeng didn't dare to be careless after seeing the attack of the bow of Sky Splitter's extreme kill. He quickly summoned 3 helpers and attacked the gray-robed elder. What? He even has a spatial treasure? Who is this guy? The moment the sword puppet and the others appeared, the gray-robed elder's heart was in turmoil. The killing intent in his eyes was immediately replaced by shock. He never expected that Yi Chunfeng's foundation was so deep that he even had a spatial treasure. He immediately wanted to retreat. Ancient map fragment, restriction. While the gray-robed elder was bewildered, Yi Chunfeng summoned the ancient map fragment and controlled it to restrict the entire void, not giving him a chance to escape. In the next moment, Yi Chunfeng and the other 3 held their respective treasures and attacked the gray-robed elder. They worked together to attack and kill him. Bow of Sky Splitter, Vajra Bronze Bull Destroy. Yi Chunfeng and the other 3 attacked. The gray-robed elder, who smelled a strong sense of danger, controlled the 3 Dao diagrams to continuously inject soul power into the 2 quasi-holy treasures. He controlled the 2 quasi-holy treasures to attack Yi Chunfeng. When the Vajra Bronze Bull, which was constantly growing in size, came crashing down like a towering mountain, Yi Chunfeng immediately controlled the 9 Flood Dragon diagram to trap the Vajra Bronze Bull and controlled the 9 Flood Dragon spirits to suppress it within the 9 Flood Dragon diagram. The extremely destructive Sky Splitter arrows that pierced through space were blocked by the sword puppet with its indestructible body. Blocking the Sky Splitter arrows with its body? Is this guy human? Seeing the sword puppet ignore the Sky Splitter arrows and approach him, the gray-robed elder's eyes almost fell out of their sockets. At this moment, he felt a strong sense of uneasiness. He regretted robbing Yi Chunfeng and putting him in the greatest danger of his life. However, he knew that he had no way out. If he couldn't kill his way out of the siege, he would probably die here. When he wanted to retreat and was ready to break out of the siege with all his strength, the Chaos Divine Beast lifted the ancient bronze coffin high up and smashed it down fiercely as if it was swinging a towering mountain. The terrifying power forced the gray-robed elder to dodge with all his strength. 3 heads, 6 arms. While the gray-robed elder was dodging, Marquis Qianming, who had broken through to Nirvana, approached him and transformed into the ultimate form of 3 heads and 6 arms. He held 6 heavy weapons and launched a tide-like attack to suppress his attack. You are from the Qilin Divine Nation. Looking at the Marquis of Qianming, who had transformed into a 3-headed and 6-armed form, the gray-robed old man misunderstood their identity and shouted loudly, I have met the Qilin Divine Nation's Divine Emperor once. Can you let me go for the sake of the Divine Emperor? As long as you let me go, I am willing to exchange the 3 treasures for my life. No need to go through so much trouble. If we kill you, everything you have will be ours. Yi Chunfeng was unmoved. He lent the quasi-sage treasure Fallen Soul Bell to Marquis Qianming and the Dragon's Pine sword to the sword puppet. He ordered them to attack with all their strength to kill the gray-robed elder. You really want to fight to the death with me? Let me tell you, if you push I too far, I will die with you. He won't be able to resist the fierce attacks of the sword puppet. The gray-robed elder's expression changed slightly as he warned angrily. Use all your means, or you won't have this chance. As he spoke, Yi Qianfeng multitasked. He controlled the god-eating brain to deduce the great Tao sound and played the ancient underworld song to attack the gray-robed elder's soul, so that he couldn't resist the fatal attacks of the sword puppet. Okay, you forced me to do this. In a desperate situation, the gray-robed elder also began to fight with all his might. He quickly took out a pitch-black, chalcedony-shaped crystal and swallowed it directly into his stomach. In the next moment, he burned his lifespan at all costs. Using his life force as a guide, he detonated the black crystal in his stomach. With the help of the burning life force and the energy released by the black crystal, the gray-robed elder's strength rose steadily. He reached the limit of the Nirvana realm and was only a step away from the Nirvana heavenly realm. His body was also constantly twisting under the impact of the surging power in his body. Disgusting bumps appeared on his body. Die with I. The gray-robed elder didn't have much lifespan to begin with. Now that he burned his remaining life force, he basically cut off his life force. At the moment of his death, he fell into a frenzy and was ready to drag Yi Qianfeng and the others to hell and kill them all. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of our next reading, you can click on the save button below to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1258. The sky-piercing bow could kill all living things. His strength had increased by several times, reaching the limit of nirvana. The gray-robed old man poured his Tao power into the sky-piercing bow and quickly drew the bow to shoot arrows, killing Yi Qianfeng and the others. Puffed. When the divine beast of chaos held the ancient bronze coffin and blocked several sky-piercing arrows, a powerful force passed through the ancient bronze coffin and into its body, injuring it. A large amount of blood spurted out from its mouth. Chaos, come back. When the divine beast of chaos was injured, Yi Qianfeng immediately teleported it into the Qianquan realm to prevent it from being injured even more. The Marquis of Qianming used the fallen soul bell to block the sky-piercing arrows for a short period of time. However, the number of arrows shot by the crazed gray-robed old man was too many, constantly shaking the fallen soul bell, causing the Marquis of Qianming to bear a huge pressure. Just as the gray-robed old man used his last resort to use the sky-piercing bow to bring a fatal threat to Yi Qianfeng and the others, Yi Qianfeng summoned the quasi-sage treasure, the golden winged feather. He drew a dazzling golden light in the chaotic void and relied on his absolute speed to dodge the sky-piercing arrows that pierced through the void, approaching the gray-robed old man. Courting death. When the gray-robed old man saw that Yi Qianfeng dared to approach him, he immediately controlled the 3 Tao diagrams to restrict the space and suppress Yi Qianfeng, wanting to kill him in one fell swoop. You can't kill me. Yi Qianfeng raised his arm, and a small ball of black blood that emitted a strange aura flew out and stuck to the sky-piercing bow. In the next moment, under the influence of the black blood, the power of the sky-piercing bow plummeted. The sky-piercing arrows shot out were no longer a threat to Yi Qianfeng and the others. Black blood, this is the black blood. The black blood was the nemesis of all treasures. After the sky-piercing bow was tainted by the black blood, it lost its power, and the Vajra Bronze Bull was suppressed by the 9 Flood Dragon diagram. After losing these 2 quasi-sage treasures, the gray-robed old man's combat power was greatly reduced. Chaos Divine Beast, come out. With a thought, Yi Qianfeng summoned the divine beast of chaos once again. Together with the Marquis of Qianming and the sword puppet, they launched a fatal attack at the gray-robed elder. Die! The gray-clothed old man didn't accept his fate. Even though he was continuously attacked by Yi Qianfeng and the others, he didn't dodge. Instead, he counterattacked with all his strength. He wanted to drag down a few people before he died. Under his all-out attack, the space was split open by his sword. The sword light crushed the attacks launched by Yi Chunfeng, and the others like a hot knife threw butter and slashed toward Yi Chunfeng. Seeing Yi Chunfeng being struck by the sword puppet quickly stood in front of Yi Chunfeng and used its body to block the sword. Gu Jianga, sword heart connected to the moon, seizing this opportunity. Yi Chunfeng exploded with all his strength and broke through the powerful recoil. He leaped into the air and held the black dragon sacred sword that had fused with the bronze sword soul as he executed his killer move. As he slashed out with his sword, a sword light that was like a mountain was branded with the mark of the Grand Tao that multiplied, and it emanated boundless Tao insight pressure that shattered everything. It mixed together with the terrifying tune of the Grand Tao as it fiercely slashed towards the gray-clothed old man's head. Sensing the terrifying power of Yi Chunfeng's sword, the gray-robed elder instinctively dodged to the side. But at this moment, the divine beast of chaos and the Marquis of Qianming appeared beside him, restricting his movements. He had no choice but to face Yi Chunfeng's sword heart connected to the moon head-on. Puff! The terrifying power of the sword Tao, mixed with 200 million kilograms of power, passed through the quasi-sage sword and into the gray-robed elder's body, aggravating his injuries. A large amount of blood spurted out from his mouth as his entire body kept retreating. Chaotic 5 elements light true Kylan seal when the gray-robed elder lost control of his body. The divine beast of chaos and the sword puppet both executed their killer moves and attacked his body continuously. They broke through his body's defense and attacked his old body until it was badly mutilated. Break! His injuries kept worsening, but the gray-robed elder still didn't retreat. He relied on his absolute strength to break through the attacks launched by Yi Chunfeng and the others. He mobilized the last of his strength and fought back with all his strength. Buzz! The chaotic void trembled for a moment. The sword puppet and the dragon spine's sacred sword fused together and turned into a sacred sword that could split the heaven and earth. With a terrifying sword momentum, the sword split open the void. It was as if the Milky Way was flowing backward, twisting time and space. The sword slashed toward the gray-robed elder. Boom! 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 A series of explosions sounded in the void. The gray-robed elder, who was defending with all his strength, was slashed down from the sky by the sword puppet. Like a meteor falling to the mortal world, he smashed into the ground heavily, creating a big hole in the cracked ground. 9 dragon jade annulus while the gray-robed elder was seriously injured. Yi Chunfeng summoned the 9 dragon jade annulus and spat a mouthful of essence blood into it. He poured almost all of his soul power into the 9 dragon jade annulus to stimulate the attack power of the jade annulus. It condensed into a murderous dragon, waving its huge body and bombarding the hole in the ground that the gray-robed elder had created. Boom! An earth-shattering sound rang out. Under the attack of the 9 dragon jade annulus, the space within a 1-mile radius collapsed. The terrifying power of the sacred weapon wildly destroyed the gray-robed elder's body. Half of his body was blasted into pieces, and he was on his last breath. After the attack of the 9 dragon jade annulus, the divine beast of chaos, the sword puppet, and the Marquis of Qianming continued to attack with their respective treasures. Under their continuous attacks, the gray-robed elder's body was blasted into pieces. He couldn't be more dead. Phew! Nirvana's powerhouses really couldn't be underestimated. After gathering everyone to kill the gray-robed elder, Yi Chunfeng breathed a sigh of relief. He had a new understanding of the strength of Nirvana's powerhouses. Let's go back. Although the ancient fragmented map had restricted the space, the destruction caused by the battle just now was too great. Yi Chunfeng took the gray-robed elder's belongings and quickly left. Not long after Yi Chunfeng left quietly, the destructive power that filled the space alerted several Nirvana realm old monsters in the Golden Thunder City. They all came to check out what was going on. When they saw that the forest within a few miles had been razed to the ground and the cracked ground had collapsed by dozens of feet, they were all stunned. A tense atmosphere filled their hearts. At this moment, Yi Chunfeng had quietly returned to his room in the ancient courtyard. He entered the Qinquan realm and checked the loot from killing the gray-robed elder. There were so many hidden stones. After breaking open the gray-robed elder's Qinquan ring, Yi Chunfeng found thousands of valuable hidden stones. In addition to the hidden stones, he also obtained 2 quasi-sage elixirs, hundreds of millions of soul crystals, tens of billions of upper soul crystals, 2 Gu Dao treasure, 3 supreme grade Dao artifacts, a large number of heavenly beast demonic cores, and a stone tablet that contained a profound sword principle. Marquis Qianming, this quasi-sage sword and quasi-sage treasure Vajra bronze bowl are yours. Lingyu, the sky-piercing bow, is yours. Yi Chunfeng refined the sky-piercing bow with the sky-piercing sacred fire and melted the black blood. He gave the loot to Lingyu, Marquis Qianming, and the others. He also gave a large number of heavenly beast demonic cores to the chaos divine beast, Jin Xin dragon blood lion, and the others to increase their strength. All right, let's continue with our cultivation. After distributing the loot from killing the gray-robed elder, Yi Chunfeng placed thousands of hidden stones of different sizes in front of him. He controlled the God-Eater brain to sense them one by one, searching for any hidden treasures. This was when the God-Eater brain's amplitude reached the limit and penetrated the largest hidden stone. Yi Chunfeng was stunned. His calm face revealed a look of horror. Everyone please add Yunlei's WeChat account, WileTY83. For every 1,000 new members, Yunlei will update 1 chapter. Mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1259. Heartbeat. Why would there be heartbeat in the hidden stone? Yi Chunfeng used the power of the God-Eater brain to confirm multiple times. He was sure that there was a weak heartbeat in the largest hidden stone. With strong curiosity, Yi Chunfeng held the dragon's spine, sacred sword, and broke open the hard stone shell of the hidden stone bit by bit. He wanted to know what kind of heart was nurtured in the hidden stone. As the stone shell was broken open, the eerie heartbeat became louder and louder. A chilling bloodline power seeped out from the hidden stone. Yi Chunfeng sensed a strong sense of danger. He had goosebumps all over his body, and his heartbeat sped up. It was as though if he broke open the hidden stone, something that could endanger his life would jump out. The uneasiness in his heart grew stronger. Although Yi Chunfeng had experienced countless life and death situations, this was the first time he felt fear from the bottom of his heart. He had a feeling that once the mysterious heart in the hidden stone appeared, it would endanger his life. So I forget it. I will try to unravel the secret of the hidden stone when I break through the limit of the Dahun continent and become a 1-star Tao saint. The uneasiness in his heart grew stronger. After hesitating for a while, Yi Chunfeng sighed helplessly and finally gave up the idea of breaking open the hidden stone. He used the power of the universal mirror to reseal it. After discovering a hidden stone that contained a huge secret, Yi Chunfeng used the power of the God-Eater brain to continue exploring the hidden stones of different shapes. However, the chances of the hidden stones containing treasures were too low. Among the more than 1,000 hidden stones that the gray-robed elder had left behind, only 9 of them contained treasures. However, the treasures contained in the 9 hidden stones were all very valuable. They were all ancient herbs that had been around for a long time, especially the resurrection grass that was over 400,000 years old and had 3 leaves. It was extremely precious. If it was circulated to the outside world, this resurrection grass could be exchanged for a real divine elixir pill. Yi Chunfeng kept the most precious soul-returning grass and gave the remaining 8 ancient herbs to the Marquis of Qianming, Lingyu, Mo Fengyun, King of Massacre, and the others. After refining a large amount of spirit pills and medicines, Mo Fengyun and the King of Slaughter had long cultivated to the limits of their cultivation. However, in order to lay the most solid foundation, they weren't in a hurry to break through. Instead, They had been suppressing their cultivation and stimulating the potential of their bodies. After cutting the 9 stones, Yi Chunfeng continued to refine the Thunder Rock's blood essence, increasing his own strength and the level of his Golden Rock bloodline. After an unknown amount of time, Yi Chunfeng, who had completely refined the Thunder Rock blood essence and raised the Golden Rock bloodline to the 5th grade, woke up from his cultivation. He returned to his room, took a bath, changed into a clean set of clothes, and walked out. At this time, Ruoshi and the others were already waiting in the courtyard. After meeting up with them, Yi Chunfeng's group headed to the auction venue located in the west side of Golden Thunder City. "Young Master Yi, we meet again." Just as they entered the magnificent auction venue, a sweet-sounding voice entered Yi Chunfeng's ears. Nangong Qingxue, who was wearing a snow-white silk dress that set off her tall and slender figure, had an elegant temperament. She was like an otherworldly snow lotus, accompanied by 4 elders of the Nangong family, slowly walked over with a delicate fragrance. "Qingxue, you know young Master Yi?" Looking at the beautiful Nangong Qingxue, Ruoshi revealed a faint smile and asked, "Hello, Sect Master Yin. I just met young Master Yi, but young Master Yi did me a big favor," Nangong Qingxue said in a clear voice. Everyone just takes what they need. Although Nangong Qingxue was beautiful, Yi Chunfeng wasn't interested in her, so he faintly replied. On the contrary, Zhou Qianni looked at Nangong Qingxue, who was wearing light makeup, revealing a look of adoration. However, when he thought of the huge difference in status between them, he didn't dare to go up and greet her. "It seems young Master Yi is still angry with us." Nangong Qingxue smiled sweetly and said, "How about this? In this auction, my Nangong family is willing to help young Master get treasure for you. Thank you for your good intention, but there is no need." After speaking, Yi Chunfeng didn't continue to chat with Nangong Qingxue. He slowly walked into the noisy auction hall and arrived at the independent auction room that Ruoshi had spent a large amount of money to rent. "Big brother, Nangong family's reputation in Lei Clan is not bad. We don't need to be too stiff with them." Zhou Qianni was very worried that Yi Chunfeng and Nangong family's relationship would worsen, so he intentionally advised, "Qianni, have you taken a fancy to Nangong Qingxue?" Yi Chunfeng sat on an armchair, drank a mouthful of spirit tea with dense spirit energy, and asked with a smile. "Ah." Zhou Qianni's expression was startled. His delicate and pretty face suddenly turned red, and he stammered, not knowing how to answer. "Qianni, a man should be indomitable, don't you even have the courage to admit it?" Yi Chunfeng looked at the slightly nervous Zhou Qianni and faintly said, "Big brother, I have indeed fallen in love with her at first sight, but the difference in status between us is too big. I don't have the extravagant hope of being together with her." Zhou Qianni lightly sighed. "Qianni, let me ask you one thing, with Big Brother backing you up, do you dare to pursue her?" Yi Chunfeng put down his teacup and slowly said, "Dare?" Zhou Qianni suddenly raised his head, looked at Yi Chunfeng, who didn't seem to be joking, and said with a firm tone, "That's right, Qianni, rest assured, as long as you can win Nangong Qingxue's good impression and make her willing to be with you, no one will be able to snatch her away from you, not even the Lei Clan's disciples." Yi Chunfeng revealed a smile and said domineeringly, thank you, big brother." After receiving Yi Chunfeng's promise, Zhou Qianni's heart was filled with gratitude, and he continuously thanked him. "All right, the auction is about to begin. I hope that there will be more 3 Suns grass in this auction. After curing your hidden illness, I will help you increase your strength." Yi Chunfeng looked at the excited Zhou Qianni and slowly said. As time passed, the auction hall, which was large enough to accommodate thousands of people and inlaid with hundreds of moonstones, was filled to the brim, and the long-awaited auction finally began. A woman wearing a tight, black, backless cheongsam with a phoenix pattern appeared in front of everyone's eyes along with the slowly rising jade auction stage. The tight cheongsam showed off the curves of her body incisively and vividly, and her charming eyes flashed with electric light, making men unable to help but look at her the moment they saw her. "My name is Zing, and I welcome everyone to the Golden Thunder City to participate in the auction held by the Lei clan. This auction will have more than 100 treasures to be auctioned, and I guarantee that your trip will not be in vain. The Cheongsam woman Zing revealed a charming smile to the crowd and said with a charming voice, "All right, I won't waste your precious time. I announce that this auction officially begins." As Zing's soft voice fell, the huge crystal stage suddenly exploded with a glaring light, and a dark purple sword with dozens of reproduction patterns engraved on the body of the sword and a huge gem inlaid on the hilt appeared on the crystal stage. Under the strong light, the long sword flowed with a deep cold light, stealing everyone's attention. Mobile reading site. Book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click the Collect button at the bottom to record this reading record, and you will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1260. This sword was called the White Lion Sword, a high-grade Tao artifact forged from deep-sea cold iron. A white lion soul was sealed in the sword. When attacking, it could activate the White Lion Soul to amplify the attack. It was a rare divine weapon. Watermark advertisement test. If you're interested in the watermark advertisement test, don't be stingy with your soul crystals. After all, soul crystals were precious, but a high-grade Tao artifact with a sealed B soul was rare. If you missed it, you would regret it for the rest of your life. Ziying gently shook the White Lion Sword in her hand, and a ferocious lion head appeared on the sword. The terrifying beast aura increased the White Lion Sword's power. The starting price is 1,000,000 high-grade soul crystals. You may start bidding. Although the White Lion Sword is good, it is much worse than a king weapon. It is useless to you, Yi Chenfeng said indifferently, not showing any interest in Bai Jian as he sat on the wooden armchair and looked down at him from a higher position. Yi Chenfeng was not interested in the White Lion Sword, but there were still hundreds of people bidding for it. Soon, the price of the White Lion Sword soared to 480 million high-grade soul crystals. It was won by a rogue cultivator from the Thunder Territory. After the first treasure was sold perfectly, Ziying continued to display precious treasures one after another. However, Yi Chenfeng's standards were too high. The treasures in the auction did not catch his eye at all. He did not make a bid and waited patiently. Soon, more than 2 hours passed. Among them, a top-grade Tao artifact spear was sold at a sky-high price. It was bought by someone from the Mirror Moon sect for 2.8 billion high-grade soul crystals. The 39th treasure was 3 stalks of 3 suns grass. I don't need to introduce how rare 3 suns grass is. If a fire attribute physique cultivator uses 3 suns grass to cultivate, it will be twice the result with half the effort. The starting price is 10 million high-grade soul crystals. You may start bidding. Ziying displayed her charm to the fullest. Every frown and smile of hers was captivating. Her pleasant voice constantly stimulated everyone's nerves. It seems that we were right to come to this auction. There really is 3 suns grass for bidding. Yi Chenfeng smiled as he stared at the 3-leaf clover floating above the crystal platform. It was entirely red and emitted a faint fiery light. He made a bid, 3 billion high-grade soul crystals. Hearing Yi Chenfeng's bid, the intense auction hall suddenly fell silent. Pairs of sluggish eyes uniformly looked at Yi Chenfeng's auction room. Even Yin Ruoshi, who was sitting next to him, revealed a shocked expression. She was shocked by the enormous wealth that Yi Chenfeng possessed. 3 billion high-grade soul crystals. Is there anyone who wants to make a bid? Ziying charmingly glanced at Yi Chenfeng's private room and asked in a seductive voice. The price of 3 billion high-grade soul crystals far exceeded the actual value of the 3 suns grass, so no one dared to bid against it. In the end, the 3 stalks of 3 sun grass were bought by Yi Chenfeng for a sky-high price of 3 billion high-grade soul crystals. Not bad, not bad. The 3 stalks of 3 sun grass were well preserved. After paying 3 billion high-grade soul crystals and obtaining 3 stalks of 3 sun grass, Yi Chenfeng revealed a satisfied expression. He put the 3 sun grass into his yin-yang ring and continued to wait for the other treasures to appear. Time passed minute by minute, second by second, and soon, more than 6 hours had passed. During these 6 hours, sky-high prices kept appearing, and the atmosphere of the auction became more and more heated. The 91st treasure was a top-grade Dao skill, the Dusk Cloud Sword Manual. This Dusk Cloud Sword Manual was created by the Dusk Cloud Sword Saints 70,000 years ago. It was extremely powerful, comparable to the Dao skills of some sacred grounds. The starting price was 100 million high-grade soul crystals. Ziying held a slightly yellowed sheepskin scroll and introduced it in a gentle voice. The Dusk Cloud Sword Manual was a top-grade Dao skill. Hearing Ziying's introduction, Zhou Qianni's eyes suddenly lit up. Zhou Shui also became very interested in the Dusk Cloud Sword Manual. However, the Zhou family's resources were limited. The two of them only had 2 billion high-grade soul crystals. It was impossible for them to win the Dusk Cloud Sword Manual. Just as the price of the Dusk Cloud Sword Manual soared to 3 billion, Yi Qinfeng put down the teacup in his hand and shouted, 8 billion high-grade soul crystals. 8 billion. Hearing Yi Qinfeng raise the price by 3 billion, the entire auction hall was filled with gasps. Yi Qinfeng's auction room once again became the focus of attention. 8 billion high-grade soul crystals. Was there anyone who wanted to increase the price? Ziying asked softly. When she saw Yi Qinfeng's bid, she was shocked. No one continued to bid. 1 billion high-grade soul crystals. The Mirror Moon sect was also very interested in the Dusk Cloud Sword Manual. After a short discussion in the auction room, they continued to bid. 10 billion high-grade soul crystals. Yi Qinfeng seemed to regard money as dirt. He continued to raise the price, causing the second strongest faction in the Lightning Territory, the Mirror Moon sect, to lose their temper. Since no one wants to increase the price, I will announce that the Dusk Cloud Sword Manual is won by the young master of the 8th auction room. Ziying announced. Tianni, this Dusk Cloud Sword Manual is for you. After spending 10 billion high-grade soul crystals to win the Dusk Cloud Sword Manual, Yi Qinfeng used the God-devouring brain to quickly scan it before giving it to Zhou Tianni. Big brother, this is too precious. Zhou Tianni was overwhelmed by the favor. Cultivate well. The Zhou family's future will depend on you, Yi Qinfeng said with a faint smile. After bidding for the Mu Yun sword cannon, Yi Qinfeng continued to bid. At a price that shocked everyone, he consecutively bought the peak-grade Dao Sutra, the mysterious Thunder Scripture, and the 10,000-year Immortal Dew, which had effects comparable to the ancient Dao Pill. This made him the star of this auction. Even Ziying, who was experienced and knowledgeable, was shocked by Yi Qinfeng's generosity. The 100th treasure we have prepared for everyone is a protective talisman refined by the 9 Heavens Divine Kingdom's Half-Moon Saint Master. This protective talisman is called the Neon Light Dao Talisman. It can block 3 fatal attacks from a quasi-sage artifact. The starting price is 1 billion high-grade soul crystals. Ziying held a dark gold amulet with a large gem embedded in it as she softly introduced the amulet. It was refined by the Half-Moon Saint Master. Although the Half-Moon Saint Master wasn't as famous as Grandmaster Nirvana, he was still one of the 2 Saint Masters of the 9 Heavens Divine Kingdom. His refining ability could be ranked in the top 10 of the Central World. After knowing that the Neon Light Dao Talisman was refined by him, the atmosphere in the auction room immediately became lively. It could be said that if one won the Neon Light Dao Talisman, as long as a sage artifact wasn't used, it was equivalent to having 3 extra lives. This was enough for all the major factions to do their best to compete for it. The price of the Neon Light Dao Talisman also soared in the midst of the bidding war. 15 billion high-grade soul crystals. Nangong Qingxue was very fond of the Neon Light Dao Talisman. She gritted her teeth and bid. 20 billion high-grade soul crystals. Just as Nangong Qingxue finished bidding, Zhou Qianni, under Yi Qinfeng's signal, bid a price that made his heart tremble. 21 billion high-grade soul crystals. Nangong Qingxue slightly frowned and lightly bit her red lips. 30 billion high-grade soul crystals. Zhou Qianni immediately followed her and continued bidding. He seemed like he wouldn't give up until he won the Neon Light Dao Talisman. 30 billion high-grade soul crystals has already far exceeded the value of this neon light Dao talisman. We don't need to continue bidding. Just as Nangong Qingxue was firmly biting her lips and hesitating whether to continue bidding, a white-haired old man spoke. Sigh. Nangong Qingxue looked at the auction room, where Yi Chunfeng was with a complicated gaze. She lightly sighed and finally gave up. And this neon light Dao talisman that caused such a huge commotion was finally won by Zhou Qianni for 30 billion high-grade soul crystals. Mobile reading website, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1261. Big Brother, why did you spend such a high price to make me compete with Miss Nangong? Looking at the neon light talisman in his hand, Zhou Qianni's delicate face didn't show any joy. Instead, he showed deep confusion and bitterness. Watermark advertisement, test watermark advertisement, test silly boy. Don't you know the principle of giving treasures to beauties? Yi Chunfeng said as he drank his spirit tea. Big Brother, you want me to give this neon light talisman to Miss Nangong? Zhou Qianni's eyes widened. This was 30 billion high-grade soul crystals. Just thinking about it made his heart tremble. Nangong Qingshue's status in the Nangong family isn't low. If you want her to remember you, you have to be ruthless. Yi Chunfeng nodded and said indifferently, All right, don't be so excited. I'll help you pave the road ahead. Whether or not you can capture that girl's heart will depend on your own ability. Yi Chunfeng said with a smile. Thank you, Big Brother. I'll work hard. Zhou Qianni nodded and said gratefully. The sky-high price of 30 billion pushed the atmosphere of the auction hall to its peak. The next few treasures were also sold for high prices. This made the smile on Ziying's face grow wider and wider. However, after bidding for the neon light talisman, Yi Chunfeng didn't bid again. He waited for the final item of the auction. Soon it was close to evening. The lively auction was also nearing its end. The third last treasure is a piece of meat. A piece of meat sealed in a cold jade essence. According to the appraisal of my ThunderClan's experts, this piece of meat is suspected to be dragon meat. Rays of white light shone from the crystal platform in front of Ziying, and a piece of frost jade essence that exuded a cold aura appeared. Sealed within the frost jade essence was a piece of bright red meat that glowed with a faint yellow light and was the size of a wash basin. Although this piece of meat was sealed in the cold jade essence and couldn't be checked, Yi Chunfeng's eyes lit up when he saw it. Yi Chunfeng wasn't the only one who was interested in this piece of dragon meat. The experts of the various major powers were also interested in this piece of meat. They all wanted to get their hands on it. Miss Ziying, can you tell me the origin of this piece of meat? A deep voice came from the Mirror Moon sex auction room. From the strength of the voice, this person was a Nirvana realm expert. This piece of meat was found by an expert of my lightning clan in the ruins of death. Ziying did not hide the origin of this piece of meat. Dead Ruins, the Death Ruins, was the forbidden ground of the lightning region. There were great dangers and terrifying restrictions inside. There was once a Nirvana realm almighty expert who entered the Death Ruins and lost his life. Seeing that everyone's interest had been completely aroused, Ziying smiled sweetly and said, The starting price for this piece of meat is 100 million top-grade soul crystals. His 100 million top-grade soul crystals were equivalent to 10 billion high-grade soul crystals, and when they learned about the starting price of this piece of meat, almost 90% of the experts gave up on the idea of bidding for it. 120 million top-grade soul crystals. Nangong Qingshue's voice suddenly rang out. The Moon Mirror sex expert immediately bid 150 million top-grade soul crystals. 200 million top-grade soul crystals. Just as the two great forces were bidding and the price was rising, a seemingly unremarkable old man in a dark gray robe made a bid. Old Man Heavenly Eagle, it was actually him. Looking at the gray-robed old man sitting in a remote corner, many people recognized his identity. He was a famous loose cultivator of the lightning region, a Nirvana expert. Even the Moon Mirror sect and Nangong family whose strength was second only to the Lightning Clan, were not willing to easily offend this person. Miss, Old Man Sky Eagle is not to be trifled with. The Saber ancestor had fought with him before and fought fiercely for a day and night. In the end, they were evenly matched, and no one could do anything to the other. The Nangong Old Man glanced at Old Man Sky Eagle, who was skinny and had an indifferent expression. His eagle-like eyes flickered with sharpness as he whispered. The Saber ancestor was one of the two great Nirvana ancestors of the Nangong family. Her strength was unfathomable, and she had few opponents in the Lightning region. I will bid again. If I can't make Old Man Sky Eagle withdraw, I will withdraw. Nangong Qingxue took a deep breath and made a decision. All right. The Nangong Old Man nodded and agreed. But at this moment, an intimidating voice suddenly rang out. 500 million top-grade soul crystals he Chunfeng bid. And when he opened his mouth, it shocked everyone and set off a huge uproar in the auction hall. Damn, did I hear wrongly? 500 million top-grade soul crystals? That guy's so rich. That's too terrifying. The guy has already spent over 70 billion high-grade soul crystals, and now he took out 500 million top-grade soul crystals. Could it be that he can't spend all of his money? As for Old Man Heavenly Eagle, who was determined to obtain this piece of suspected dragon meat, he also frowned when he heard Yi Qinfeng's price. Clearly, Yi Qinfeng's price had exceeded what he could accept. This made him hesitate as to whether or not he should give it his all and compete with Yi Qinfeng. 500 million top-grade soul crystals. Is there anyone else who will continue to bid? After a brief moment of absent-mindedness, Ziying revealed a charming smile and glanced at the auctioneer, where Yi Qinfeng was, and asked softly. 500 million top-grade soul crystals was also a huge amount of wealth for the Mirror Moon sect and the Nangong family. If they took it out, it would be a huge loss. Old Man Sky Eagle thought about it and had no choice but to give up. In the end, this piece of meat was won by Yi Chunfeng for 500 million top-grade soul crystals. Brother, is it worth 500 million top-grade soul crystals for a piece of meat? Zhou Tianyi was completely stunned by Yi Qinfeng's big spending. His throat rolled as he asked with a trembling voice. It was worth it. Yi Qinfeng poured himself a cup of spirit tea and took a sip. He smiled and said, I can't wait to taste this piece of meat. After paying 500 million top-grade soul crystals, Yi Chunfeng obtained the piece of meat sealed in the frost jade essence. He controlled the power of the God-Eater brain to forcibly penetrate it and investigate this piece of meat. The power of the dragon, this piece of meat was really a piece of dragon meat. Could it be that there was a true dragon in the Thunder Domain Death Ruins? After the God-Eater brain amplified tens of thousands of times per second, the rapidly fluctuating God-Eater brain penetrated into the chilling frost jade essence and felt a faint trace of dragon power in this piece of meat. The true dragon was an existence that surpassed the limit of the Duhan continent. Even the Nirvana Realm Masters didn't have such good luck. Although Yi Chunfeng didn't know the benefits of eating dragon meat, he felt that the 500 million top-grade soul crystals were worth it. Yi Chunfeng stored the frost jade essence, which contained the dragon meat, into his universe mirror. Then, he drank his spirit tea as he waited for the remaining two treasures. Okay, everyone quiet down. I will now show you the second last treasure. As he spoke, a large flag with a green flood dragon engraved on it appeared on the crystal platform. It was engraved with the pattern of reproduction. Quasi-Saint Treasure looking at the green flood dragon flag in Ziying's hand. Yi Chunfeng recognized at a glance that this flag was a quasi-Saint Treasure and was quite powerful. It should be more powerful than the Vajra bronze bull of the gray-robed old man. However, he had too many treasures on him, so the green flood dragon flag wasn't very attractive to him. He didn't participate in the competition. In silence, he watched Elder Sky Eagle, the Mirror Moon sect, and the Nangong family crazily bidding. In the end, Elder Heavenly Eagle, who was rather wealthy, overpowered the two great forces with a price of 480 million top-grade soul crystals, and won the bid for this Azure WIRM flag. Mobile reading site. Book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click on the Save button below to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1262. Thank you for your generosity, Senior Sky Eagle. This quasi-saint treasure, green dragon flag, belongs to you. Zing smiled seductively at Elder Sky Eagle, who had a rare smile on his face, and said, "Okay, there's only one treasure left in this auction." As he spoke, a dark gray stone fruit the size of a fist appeared on the crystal platform, appearing before everyone's eyes. It was shaped like a fruit, but it was the size of a fist. This stone fruit is a treasure stone, and after being appraised by the masters of my Thunder Clan, this stone fruit should contain an ancient medicine. Originally, the green dragon flag was the final treasure of this auction, but after being recommended by several masters of my Thunder Clan, this stone fruit became the final treasure. With just a few simple words, Zing piqued everyone's interest. Stone fruit. Looking at the stone fruit floating on the crystal platform, Yi Chenfeng frowned slightly, hesitating whether to take the risk and bid for this stone fruit. Not only did Yi Chenfeng show hesitation, but the people of the Mirror Moon sect and Nangong family also showed hesitation. They knew very well that if they wanted to bid for this stone fruit, they would have to pay a great price. However, they couldn't be sure if this stone fruit really contained an ancient medicine, and if the ancient medicine's value was higher than a quasi-saint treasure. If they made a mistake in the auction, not only would they have wasted a lot of top-grade soul crystals, but they would also become the laughingstock of the Thunder Territory. Miss Zing, my Nangong family is very interested in this stone fruit. But before the auction, can you remove the seal and let us appraise it first before making the final decision? Nangong Qingxue pondered for a moment and requested. Of course. Zing agreed happily and removed the restriction on the crystal platform, allowing everyone to use their souls to appraise the stone fruit. Life force. This stone fruit contains life force. When the highly amplified, soul-devouring power penetrated the stone fruit, Yi Chenfeng sensed a trace of extremely vague vitality, and his eyes lit up. The life spirit technique was his biggest trump card, but there were great restrictions when using it. Although he had an earth fate fruit, one earth fate fruit was far from enough for him. If the ancient medicine contained in this stone fruit was really a life fruit, then it was worth it for him to fight for it with everything he had. All right, let's end the appraisal here. The starting price of this stone fruit is 500 million top-grade soul crystals. Everyone can start bidding now. After the time it took for an incense stick to burn, Zing controlled the crystal platform to reseal the stone fruit and announced softly, 500 million top-grade soul crystals. Hearing the base price of the stone fruit, the quiet auction hall was filled with gasps. This base price directly caused 99% of the cultivators to lose the qualifications to bid. Right now, only the Mirror Moon sect, the Nangong clan, the Earthine sect, and Yi Chenfeng had the ability to bid for this stone fruit. Zing could not help but reveal a bitter smile when she saw that no one had made a bid after she had announced the starting bid. The entire auction hall was terrifyingly quiet. Back then, when she had learned of the stone fruit's base price, she had also been shocked. This was because there were very few forces that dared to take the risk of betting 500 million top-grade soul crystals. Therefore, before the auction, she had already prepared herself for the possibility that the stone fruit would not be sold. All of a sudden, Ruashi's voice rang out. 500 million top-grade soul crystals. Phew, finally, someone made a bid. Zing secretly heaved a sigh of relief, and a smile reappeared on her charming face. Although Ruashi did not add a single top-grade soul crystal, in Zing's opinion, this price was already very high. Fifth Elder, do you think we should take the risk and gamble? The dignified and beautiful Nangong Qingxue took a deep breath and said hesitantly, the risk was a bit high. However, since the Thunder Clan dared to use this stone fruit as the final treasure and set such a high base price, it was enough to show that they thought highly of this stone fruit. If they could really cut out a very old and powerful ancient medicine, 500 million top-grade soul crystals would be acceptable. The white-haired fifth elder said with a dignified expression. 600 million top-grade soul crystals. Just as the Mirror Moon sect and Nangong clan were discussing whether to increase the price, Yi Chunfeng made a bid. It's him. He actually made a bid. Hearing Yi Chunfeng's bid, Nangong Qingxue suddenly remembered that Yi Chunfeng helped her pick out the hidden stone. Her beautiful big eyes revealed rays of light. Perhaps this stone really was extraordinary. Nangong Qingxue took a deep breath and said, Fifth Elder, how many top-grade soul crystals can we use at most? About 800 million, but the condition is that the Patriarch and 2 Grand Elders agree. Fifth Elder said. Nangong Qingxue lightly bit her lips. She did not discuss with Fifth Elder and the others anymore. She shouted, 800 million top-grade soul crystals. Mississippi, hearing Nangong Qingxue's bid, Fifth Elder and the others' expression changed greatly. They had not reported to the Nangong clan's patriarch, yet Nangong Qingxue made a bid on her own. If the treasure in the stone fruit was not worth this price, not only would Nangong Qingxue be punished, they would also be implicated. Thinking of the consequences, their hearts trembled. Interesting. Yi Chunfeng slightly raised the corner of his mouth, revealing a faint smile. When everyone was shocked by Nangong Qingxue's bid, Yi Chunfeng raised the price again. 1 billion top-grade soul crystals. 1 billion. 1 billion top-grade soul crystals was equivalent to 100 billion high-grade soul crystals. With such a high price, one could even buy a saint tool. 1 billion top-grade soul crystals. Is there anyone who wants to increase the price? Ziying's throat rolled. The shock on her face did not disappear for a long time. Even her voice was slightly trembling. Investigate that person's identity. I want to know who he is. Many forces were curious about Yi Chunfeng's identity and wanted to know his background. There were even some who coveted his wealth and wanted to kill him. Miss, give up. Fifth Elder secretly let out a sigh of relief. Looking at the unwilling Nangong Qingxue, he persuaded. Fifth Elder, where do you think that young master Yi Chunfeng came from? How could he have so many top-grade soul crystals? Nangong Qingxue tightly bit her lips. She was also frightened by Yi Chunfeng's bid. It's hard to say, but he dared to reveal his wealth in front of so many people. After the auction ends, many people will make a move on him. At that time, we should be able to know his identity. Fifth Elder slowly said, Since no one wants to increase the price, I announce that the last treasure, the stone fruit, is won by young Master Yi. Because of Yi Chunfeng's continuous bidding, Ziying had investigated some information about him during the auction. She was slightly excited as she announced. The price of a stone fruit was beyond everyone's expectations. It also let everyone see the wealth Yi Chunfeng controlled. And because of this auction, Yi Chunfeng was also on the cusp of a knife's edge. However, he was fearless and was not afraid of the lightning field's almighty experts. All right, the auction is over. Let's go. Yi Chunfeng paid 1 billion top-grade soul crystals to buy the stone fruit. He drank the spirit tea in his cup and left the auction room with Zhou Qianni, Zhou Shui, and the elated spiritual fish, whose hearts had already been numbed by now. When Yi Chunfeng revealed his true appearance, he was like a dazzling star that took away everyone's attention and became the only focus. Mobile reading site, book address. To make it easier for you to read it next time, you can click on the Save button below to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1263. Young Master Yi, you really scare me today. Watermark advertisement, test watermark advertisement test. Nangong Qingxue walked out of the auction room and saw Yi Chunfeng, who gave her a great shock. She hesitated for a moment, then walked forward with a fragrance and said softly, Young Master, are you sure that the treasure in the stone fruit is worth this sky-high price? You don't need to test me. Whether it is worth or not is my business. But my little brother has something to give you. Yi Chunfeng looked at Nangong Qingxue's delicate face and said indifferently, Miss Nangong, I know you like this neon light Dao talisman, so I bought it for you. Zhou Qianni took a breath and smiled. He took out the neon light Dao talisman and handed it over to Nangong Qingxue, who was sizing him up with a slightly changed expression. "This is too precious. I can't accept it." Although Nangong Qingxue liked the neon light Dao talisman, she was smart enough to understand the meaning within. She shook her head and tactfully refused. "Miss Nangong, this is my little brother Tiany's kind intentions. You should accept it." Yi Chenfeng slowly said, "Although Tiany's cultivation is not high now, but in the near future, I believe he will stand at the top of the Thunder Field." What a big tone. With just one sentence, you can make a trash the king of the Thunder Field. Before Nangong Qingxue could speak, a voice full of hostility sounded. Jing Jiechi, who was wearing a black robe embroidered with gold, had a tall stature, a square face, and sunken eyes. He was accompanied by several Mirror Moon sect experts and slowly walked over. Jing Jiechi had been in love with Nangong Qingxue for a long time, and the Mirror Moon sect also had the intention of forming a marriage alliance with the Nangong family. Jing Jiechi did not allow anyone to touch Nangong Qingxue. Moreover, Yi Chenfeng had repeatedly taken away the things he liked, so he was full of hostility towards Yi Chenfeng. There was no green grass by the river. Where did this talkative donkey come from? The spirit fish coldly glanced at the extraordinary Jing Jiechi and sneered. Looking for death? Jing Jiaqi's bodyguard, a middle-aged man with extraordinary strength, narrowed his eyes and shot toward the spirit fish. He stretched out his right hand and slapped the spirit fish's angry face, wanting to teach her a lesson. Suddenly, the spirit fish stretched out its small hand and accurately grasped his wrist. A force of more than 100 million pounds exploded and crushed his wrist. It was so painful that he screamed like a pig being slaughtered. Crack relying on his absolute strength, he crushed the middle-aged man's wrist. Then, he quickly kicked out and shattered his sternum. A large amount of blood and organs sprayed out from his mouth. His entire body was thrown behind him, crashing into the body of a Mirror Moon sect expert. "I don't care who you are, but I advise you not to provoke me," Yi Chenfeng warned coldly as he looked at Jing Jiechi's ugly expression. You as the young master of the Mirror Moon sect, Jing Jiechi had never suffered such humiliation. Just as he was about to lose control of his anger and attack, several ThunderClan experts who heard the commotion appeared. Fighting is prohibited in the auction hall. Everyone, please pay attention. A red-faced elder with long dark green hair and a dark blue robe glanced at Yi Chenfeng and Jing Jiechi and said coldly, "You have guts. This is not over." Although the Mirror Moon sect was powerful, there was still a huge gap between them and the ThunderClan. Jing Jiechi took a deep breath and suppressed his anger. He ordered his men to take the heavily injured middle-aged man and left with murderous intent. "Young Master Yi, this Jing Jiechi is very narrow-minded. Be careful of his revenge," In Ruashi kindly reminded. "It's okay." Yi Chenfeng shook his head and said fearlessly, "I think that when I leave Golden Thunder City, many people will try to kill me. He won't make a difference." Hearing the confidence in Yi Chenfeng's voice, even the red-faced old man was surprised. He really wanted to know what Yi Chenfeng was relying on. "Miss Nangong, let me tell you something. After hearing this, if you refuse Tiany's gift again, I won't force you." Yi Chenfeng shifted his gaze to Nangong Qingxue and said slowly, "Young Master Yi, please speak." Nangong Qingxue had a strong curiosity about Yi Chenfeng. She said with a pleasant voice. Yi Chenfeng faintly smiled, then lowered his voice to a whisper and transmitted it into Nangong Qingxue's ears. Following that, Nangong Qingxue's beautiful eyes revealed rays of light. She looked at the slightly nervous Zhou Tianyi, who had beads of sweat on the tip of his nose. "Young Master Zhou, I really like this gift." "Thank you." Nangong Qingxue smiled and accepted the neon light talisman from Zhou Tianyi. "Okay, it's getting late. I have to go back to the Nangong family. Young Master Yi, young Master Zhou, everyone, we will meet again someday." After speaking, Nangong Qingxue left with a refreshing fragrance accompanied by the Nangong family's experts. Just as Yi Chenfeng's group was about to leave, Ziying, who had a graceful figure and exuded a mature charm, slowly walked over with a charming smile on her face. "Young Master Yi, do you have time to talk? Is there something?" Looking at Zi Ying's charming face, Yi Chunfeng asked indifferently, "Young Master Yi, my Thunder family wants to make friends with you. If you are willing to tell us your identity and background, our Thunder family is willing to help you solve the problem outside." Zi Ying explained her intention. "I appreciate Miss Good intentions, but they're just a bunch of chickens and dogs. There is no need to trouble the Thunder family. We can solve them." Yi Chunfeng smiled and said, "Also, I have always been friends with the Thunder family. It's just that Miss doesn't know about it." "Really?" Zi Ying revealed a trace of surprise. Looking at Yi Chunfeng's handsome face, she continuously searched her memory. "Whether it is true or not, Miss will know very soon," Yi Chunfeng said indifferently. After speaking, Yi Chunfeng didn't stay for long. He left the auction venue with Zhou Tianyi and others. "Two elders. Have you seen this person in the Thunder family?" Ziying looked at Yi Chunfeng's back as he left. Her brows tightly knitted together as she asked in a low voice, "Although I haven't seen this person before, I think I know who he is." The red-faced old man's status in the Thunder family was not low. Thinking of what happened in the Azure Thunder County some time ago, he thought of something. "Sixth Elder, who is he?" Ziying asked curiously. "Ziying, you should have heard about Thunder Chuan Wang," the Sixth Elder asked. "Sixth Elder? You mean he's the one who cut off Thunder Chuan Wang's legs in front of the Punishment Elder?" Although the Thunder family blocked the news, Ziying still heard some rumors. Her eyes widened, revealing a look of disbelief. "Unsurprisingly, it should be this person." The Sixth Elder nodded and said, "Sixth Elder, who do you think he is?" "I heard that the Punishment Elder was very angry at that time and wanted to avenge Thunder Chuan Wang, but he was caught by a terrifying hand that covered the sky. And there are rumors that the hand that covered the sky was my Thunder family Supreme Elder who has been in seclusion for 100 years. Ziying asked, "I can't guess his identity, but if he is the one who cut off Thunder Chuan Wang's legs, then the people outside who have ideas about him are in trouble." The Sixth Elder said, "Ziying, quickly release the Thunder Eagle and observe the movement outside the Golden Thunder City. A good show is about to start." Mobile reading site. Book address. In order to facilitate the next reading, you can click on the save at the bottom to record this reading record. The next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1264. Brother Yi, what did you say to Miss Nangong that made her change her mind and accept the neon light talisman? Zhou Tianyi asked curiously as they left the auction hall. He really wanted to know what Yi Chunfeng said to Nangong Qingxue. Watermark advertisement test, watermark advertisement test. I told her that you have cultivated the sword heart, and it was her choice to change her fate. Yi Chunfeng said with a faint smile. What? Miss Nangong is not in a good situation. Zhou Tianyi's heart tightened. Unless their strength was above the family, the children of the big families could hardly control their own fate. Especially a beautiful girl like Nangong Qingxue, it was easier for her to become the marriage partner of the big families. Yi Chunfeng said faintly, "Tianyi, train hard. If you really want the Nangong family to acknowledge you, you must be strong enough. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you to marry Nangong Qingxue." "Don't worry, brother, I will become strong." Zhou Tianyi clenched his fists and promised. Every strong person walked out from a pile of bones and had to go through the test of life and death. Looking at Zhou Tianyi's determined face, Yi Chunfeng said, "Tianyi, if we leave Golden Thunder City now, we will encounter a lot of strong people. Are you afraid?" "Not afraid," Zhou Tianyi said with a firm tone. "Good, then let's leave the city and send those who want to kill us to hell," Yi Chunfeng said with a faint smile. "Mr. Yi, do you need my earthly insect's help?" Inrawashi found that Yi Chunfeng was not simple. He was far more terrifying than she imagined. She wanted to do him a favor and asked, "Thank you for your kindness, Insect Master, but I don't want to bother you with a bunch of useless people." Yi Chunfeng smiled and said calmly, as if the danger outside the city was completely under his control. After leaving Golden Thunder City, Yi Chunfeng's sharp senses immediately sensed at least a dozen strong soul power sweeping over his body. Among these people, there were two powerful people from Nirvana. Was Nirvana the only powerful people? A cold smile appeared on Yi Qinfeng's face. He summoned the ancient map fragment, and it appeared in his palm. He was prepared to seal the space and kill the enemy at any time. As Yi Qinfeng's group was getting further and further away from Golden Thunder City, those experts who had been secretly following them didn't hurry to take action. When the sky was getting darker and darker, and the bright moonlight was covered by the slowly moving dark clouds, a vague figure cut through the night and blocked in front of Yi Qinfeng's group. Old man Fanning, seeing this black-robed old man whose eyes were as sharp as an eagle's, Zhou Qianni immediately recognized that the person who had suddenly stopped them was the famous roe cultivator of the Thunder Dominion, Nirvana's almighty Old Man Sky Eagle. Old Man Heavenly Eagle was neither good nor evil, and his strength was extremely terrifying. The number of people in the entire lightning region that could defeat him could be counted with one's fingers. It could be said that being targeted by him was equivalent to being targeted by the god of death, and there was absolutely no possibility of survival. You finally couldn't hold it in any longer and decided to make a move. Yi Qinfeng said calmly, not revealing any panic on his face as he looked at Old Man Heavenly Eagle. "Give me that piece of meat, and I guarantee that you won't die." Old Man Sky Eagle's sharp eyes flickered with a glaring light, and his voice was as cold as ice. "If you want that piece of meat, you can exchange it with your life." Yi Qinfeng summoned the dragon spine's sacred sword with a thought, and a domineering aura spread out from his tall and straight body. At this moment, he was like a divine sword that was about to be unsheathed, slowly revealing its peerless edge to the world. The spiritual fish also summoned the sky-piercing bow and was ready to shoot an arrow at any time to attack Old Man Sky Eagle, whose strength was unfathomable. Sky-piercing bow. Why is Gulan's sky-piercing bow in your hands? Old Man Sky Eagle was surprised when he saw the sky-piercing bow in the spiritual fish's hand and asked softly, "Who is Gulan? I have never heard of her before." The spiritual fish's eyes emitted a faint golden light as its powerful bloodline power began to awaken. "I underestimated you guys. I didn't expect Gulan to fall in your hands." The killing intent on Old Man Sky Eagle's face was replaced by seriousness. The sky-piercing bow was Gulan's favorite treasure, and it was impossible for it to be given away. The sky-piercing bow's change of owner meant that something had happened to Gulan. At this moment, Old Man Sky Eagle no longer dared to underestimate Yi Qinfeng and the rest. He was prepared to do his best to kill them in one go. Suddenly, Old Man Sky Eagle noticed that a pearl had appeared in Yi Qinfeng's hand. It was a pearl that was filled with the power of destruction. When he stared at the pearl, all the hair on his body stood up. He had an illusion that once this pearl exploded, no matter how capable he was, he would not be left with a corpse. Swish, swish, swish. Suddenly, a series of ear-piercing sounds rang out. When Yi Qinfeng took out the Saint Extermination Pearl and was about to kill Old Man Sky Eagle, several experts hidden in the darkness launched fatal attacks at Yi Qinfeng and the rest. They wanted to kill them and seize their treasures. "I'll send you to hell first." With a thought, the 81 Qinkuan swords flew out of Yi Qinfeng's body, forming a rain of swords that enveloped Zhou Qianni and the rest. While blocking the attacks, he was prepared to detonate the Saint Extermination Pearl and kill Old Man Sky Eagle. Extreme Eagle Old Man Sky Eagle, who smelled the strong threat of death, flashed and turned into an afterimage. He leaped into the air like a frightened eagle. He glanced at Yi Qinfeng with apprehension and flew away at an extremely fast speed. Old Man Sky Eagle was scared away by the Saint Extermination Pearl, so Yi Qinfeng did not chase after him. With a thought, he controlled the Qinkuan swords to spin rapidly. Like a spinning top, they strangled the experts hidden in the night. Amidst the miserable screams, 5 powerful combat beast emperors were crushed by the Qinkuan swords controlled by Yi Qinfeng's thought. A large amount of blood and minced meat fell from the sky, dyeing the ground red. Why did Old Man Sky Eagle suddenly leave? The experts of the various major factions, who were hiding in the night and trying to kill Yi Qinfeng and the rest, noticed that the strongest Old Man Sky Eagle had suddenly left and smelled an unusual aura. What kind of existence was Old Man Sky Eagle? He was a top expert comparable to the ancestors of the various major factions. For Yi Chen Feng to be able to scare him away, it was enough to show that he had an unimaginable trump card. This caused many people to retreat. However, there were still people who coveted the treasures and wealth in Yi Chen-feng's possession and decided to take the risk to kill him. Rumble, a series of thunderous booms resounded in the dark night. In the pitch-black void that was filled with a thick stench of blood, a towering thunder mountain suddenly appeared. On top of the thunder mountain, 3 white-haired old men who looked extremely familiar were floating. True Thunder Mountain, it's the 3 true Thunder Saints. I didn't expect them to come as well. It seemed that someone had deliberately released the news to attract some reclusive old monsters from the lightning territory and borrow their hands to kill that person. Although Old Man Sky Eagle had left, with the 3 true Thunder Saints attacking, those people would definitely die. The 3 true Thunder Saints were the same as Old Man Sky Eagle. They didn't belong to any sect and were rogue cultivators from the lightning territory. Although the 3 true Thunder Saints were Nirvana, Almighties, and were far weaker than Old Man Sky Eagle, they were brothers from the same mother and had cultivated together for tens of thousands of years. Their minds were already connected. In addition, the true Thunder Mountain that they had refined together had reached the level of a quasi-sage artifact. Even Old Man Sky Eagle wasn't willing to face them head-on. Junior, hand over the treasures in your possession, and we will spare your life. A thunderous voice exploded in the ears of Yi Chen Feng and the rest, shaking the souls of Zhou Tianyi and Zhou Shui, causing them to tremble in pain. You want the treasures in my possession? Sure, exchange them with your lives. Yi Chen Feng replied domineeringly. He held the dragon's pine, sacred sword, and soared into the sky, charging towards the true Thunder Mountain that was flickering with lightning. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1265. Courting Death. The 3 true Thunder Saints didn't expect Yi Chen Feng to be so daring as to take the initiative to attack them. They immediately injected a huge amount of Tao energy into the true Thunder Mountain, controlling it to fall down and bombarding Yi Chen Feng, wanting to shatter him. 9 Flood Dragon Diagram. Feeling the destructive lightning radiating from the true Lightning Mountain, Yi Chen Feng summoned the 9 Flood Dragon Diagram. Then, he condensed the Life and Death Tao Diagram, the Heaven and Earth Tao Diagram, and the 5 Elements Tao Diagram, infusing Tao energy into the 9 Flood Dragon Diagram. Roar, roar, roar. A series of deafening dragon roars resounded. Fusing with the Tao energy of the 3 Tao diagrams, 9 Flood Dragon spirits appeared in the 9 Flood Dragon Diagram. They twisted their huge bodies and continuously attacked the true Thunder Mountain. Not only did they resist the destructive attack of the true Thunder Mountain, but they also shook it to the side. What? That person actually shook the quasi-sacred treasure, true Thunder Mountain? Could it be that he was hiding his strength? He wasn't a level 5 combat beast emperor, but a Nirvana realm expert. Witnessing the scene of the 9 Flood Dragon spirits shaking the true Thunder Mountain, the experts of the major forces hidden in the night revealed shocked expressions. Just as they looked at Yi Chen Feng in unison, wanting to see his next performance, 2 blurry figures split from his body and attacked the 3 true Thunder Saints from the left and right. Doppelganger. 2 doppelgangers. Through the night, seeing the sword puppet and Xingluo's doppelganger flying over, the 3 true Thunder Saints revealed a trace of surprise. However, they had lived for tens of thousands of years and had experienced hundreds of battles. Their combat experience was extremely rich. Coupled with their telepathy, their attacks were extremely terrifying. The 3 of them blasted out their palms at the same time, instantly condensing 3 sky-covering hands that sealed the entire void. Dragging long Tao patterns, they crushed towards the 2 doppelgangers that were approaching them. Swoosh! The sword spirit puppet instantly fused with the black dragon sacred sword, slashing out with its body as a sword. It drew out a huge crescent arc, like a falling crescent moon. It directly broke through the huge palms that the three of them had sent out. The sword slashed out toward the three of them, forcing them to dodge to the side. While the three of them were dodging, Xingluo's doppelganger flickered with streaks of starlight. Bright stars appeared on his body one after another, illuminating the pitch-black night sky and releasing a glaring radiance. He continuously bombarded the three true lightning saints, fiercely colliding with the lightning they shot out in midair. Qianquan sword formation, Qianquan strike, while the three true thunder saints were fighting fiercely with Yi Qinfeng's two clones. Yi Chunfeng leaped high into the air and controlled the rapidly spinning 81 Qianquan swords to fuse together, turning them into a gigantic Qianquan sword that could split the sky and the earth as it slashed towards the three saints. When this sword slashed out, the heavenly monarch felt like he was going to be split in half. In the eyes of the stunned spectators, there was only an earth-shattering and unstoppable sword light. Feeling the terror of Yi Chunfeng's sword, the three true thunder saints didn't dare to be careless. A dark golden ancient Tao treasure engraved with mountain runes appeared above their heads and rapidly shook, forming rays of defensive Tao light to block the Qianquan sword. Chi, the water-like defensive Tao patterns were easily torn apart by the Qianquan sword. The terrifying sword ruthlessly slashed at the ancient Tao flag, directly splitting it. The powerful force caused the entire void to tremble. True Lamy Mountain, extinguish. After witnessing Yi Chunfeng's terrifying attack, the three true Thunder Saints no longer underestimated him. They quickly summoned the true Lamy Mountain that was repelled by the Nine-Serpent diagram, wanting to use this quasi-sage treasure to kill Yi Qinfeng and the others. Nine-Serpent diagram, devour. The true Lightning Mountain, which was flickering with boundless lightning, smashed towards Yi Qinfeng. Yi Qinfeng immediately controlled the Nine-Flood Dragon diagram to continuously expand. Like a spatial black hole, it directly swallowed the mountain-like true Lightning Mountain into the space of the Nine-Flood Dragon diagram. He controlled the Nine-Flood Dragon spirits to suppress it. A sage treasure, a true sage treasure. Witnessing the scene of the true Lightning Mountain being swallowed by the Nine-Serpent diagram, the three true Lightning Saints revealed shocked expressions. They never thought that Yi Chunfeng would actually possess a true sacred treasure. And judging from the power released by the Nine-Serpent diagram, the Nine-Serpent diagram was no ordinary sacred treasure. Whoosh, 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 the moment the true Lamy Mountain was suppressed by the Nine-Serpent diagram, the sword puppet and Xingluo's doppelganger attacked the three true Thunder Saints. Yi Qinfeng didn't attack again. He controlled the three Tao diagrams with all his strength, releasing Tao runes into the Nine-Serpent diagram to increase its power and suppress the true Lamy Mountain. Just as Yi Qinfeng and his two doppelganger were fiercely fighting the three true Thunder Saints under the night sky, many experts hidden in the night launched attacks at the three Lingyu brothers, wanting to capture them and use their lives to threaten Yi Qinfeng. Suddenly, a series of miserable screams rang out. Several experts close to Zhou Qianni and his sister were killed by the ancient diagram fragments hidden in the void that Yi Chunfeng had set up in advance, turning into clouds of blood mist in midair. The bloodline of the golden-eyed divine ape burned. The spirit fish's eyes sparkled with a strong desire to fight. It let out a loud roar, ignited the power of its bloodline, and transformed into the true form of the golden-eyed divine ape. It held the top-grade Taoist stick in its hand and darted toward a nearby jungle. Then it started to fight with more than 10 powerful experts hiding in the jungle. Second sister, take care of yourself. Thinking of Yi Qinfeng's words, Zhou Qianni didn't hide in the ancient diagram fragments blindly. Instead, he rushed out with his ruler weapon, igniting his snake bloodline at all costs, and took the initiative to attack the experts of the Thunder Field who were stunned by the ancient diagram fragments. Damn it, what kind of doppelganger is this? Why is its defense so terrifying? The three true Thunder Saints held 3 supreme-grade Dao weapon lightning spears and fiercely attacked the sword puppet for half an hour, but they didn't cause any damage to it. They revealed looks of disbelief, and the more they fought, the more frightened they became. Under the protection of the sword puppet, Xingluo's doppelganger constantly blasted out attack stars, attacking the three of them, damaging their bodies and worsening their injuries. Their attacks were suppressed by the sword puppet and Xingluo's doppelganger. The eldest of the three true Thunder Saints quickly took out a 10-meter-long ghost banner embroidered with a large number of ferocious faces. It was a quasi-holy treasure-level ghost banner. Summoning the myriad ghost streamer, the three true Thunder Saints sprayed their blood essence into the streamer, activating the tens of thousands of living beings sealed in it. A series of bone-chilling cries of ghosts rang out from the streamer. Ghost banner, kill. The tens of thousands of creatures in the ghost banner were completely awakened. The three true Thunder Saints immediately controlled the banner to attack the two doppelganger. They wanted to use the power of the banner to forcibly erase the soul imprints in the doppelganger and cut off Yi Qinfeng's left and right arms. You really deserve to die. Yi Qinfeng didn't expect the three true Thunder Saints to refine such an evil quasi-holy treasure. In order to increase the power of the ghost banner, they sealed tens of thousands of creatures inside. This kind of cruel means was not tolerated by heaven and earth. Purple beginning holy thunder, sky burning sacred fire, soul extinguisher. As the tens of thousands of creatures covering the void attacked, Yi Qinfeng immediately summoned two holy spirits to cover his body. Under the burning of the sky-burning holy fire and the bombardment of the purple beginning holy thunder, a large number of creatures were turned into ashes. The yin qi in the whole space became thicker and thicker, like hell. Mobile reading site. Book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click on the Collect button below to record this reading record. You can see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1266. Holy Fire. Holy lightning witnessing the purple beginnings, holy lightning and sky-burning holy fire gushing out of Yi Qinfeng's body. The three true lightning saints felt a wave of unease. Watermark advertisement, test watermark advertisement, test that 10,000 ghost banner was their final trump card. If they were countered by Yi Qinfeng again, they would be in danger. While they were still in shock, the sword puppet and Xingluo's clone ignored the evil creature's attacks and closed in on the three true lightning saints, continuing to attack them. Whoosh! When the sword puppet relied on its powerful attacks to forcibly separate the three true lightning saints, Yi Qinfeng ignited his dragon bloodline, increasing his soul power by 7 times. He summoned the golden wings feather and drew a streak of light in the pitch-black night sky, suddenly closing in on one of them. In the next moment, the supreme-grade holy treasure 9 dragons, jade annulus, appeared on Yi Qinfeng's body. It fused with almost all of Yi Qinfeng's soul power and condensed into a deadly berserk dragon, which blasted out at close range. No! Sensing how terrifying the deadly berserk dragon was without the 9 dragons, jade annulus, a look of despair appeared on the third true Lightning Brother's face. He crushed his universe ring and summoned all of his defensive trump cards to defend against the deadly berserk dragon's fatal attack. However, the deadly berserk dragon's attack power was too terrifying. The defensive trump cards that the third true Lightning Brother had summoned couldn't withstand it at all and were crushed by the deadly berserk dragon. Boom! The third true Lightning Brother was struck head-on by the deadly berserk dragon, and his body's defenses shattered like glass. The terrifying, deadly berserk dragon broke into his body like a tidal wave, shattering his entire body and ending his life. Third true Lightning Brother seeing the third true Lightning Brother's body explode from the deadly berserk dragon, the 2 true Lightning Saints let out sorrowful cries. Never in their wildest dreams would they have thought that Yi Qinfeng's strength would be so terrifying. Not only did he counter their attacks, but he even killed the third true Lightning Brother in front of everyone. I'll take your life. The third true Lightning Brother's death completely enraged the two true Lightning Saints. They roared and burned their powerful bloodline and blood essence at all costs, raising their strength to the limit. They launched a fatal attack on Yi Chenfeng, who had exhausted almost all of his soul power and was weakened. They wanted to kill him and take revenge for the third true Lightning Brother. Water of heavenly secrets at this critical juncture. The sword puppet stood in front of Yi Chenfeng and helped him neutralize the true Lightning Two Saints' attacks. At the same time, it took out the water of fate that it had prepared beforehand and drank a large mouthful of it to recover its almost depleted soul power. 10,000 Ghost Banner. Ghost King appears the sword puppet continued to nullify their attacks. Zhenlei and Zhenlei Saints continued to inject their blood essence into the myriad Ghost Banner, increasing its power. Terrifying Ghost Kings were summoned one after another to attack the sword puppet. Fallen Soul Bell, feeling that the energy contained in the sword spirit puppet was constantly decreasing, Yi Chenfeng summoned the quasi-holy treasure Fallen Soul Bell. He controlled the Fallen Soul Bell to cover the sword spirit puppet, blocking the attacks of the ferocious Ghost Kings. Knock, knock, knock. A huge bell rang in the dark night sky. Holy fire burned the sky, and holy thunder shook the world. Under Yi Chenfeng's ferocious attacks, the Ghost Kings and the myriad Ghost Banner were killed one after another. The true Lightning Two Saints attacks were completely suppressed. Just as they were in a perilous situation, without the support of the three Dao diagrams, the 9 Jiao Dragon Spirits and the 9 Jiao Dragon diagram couldn't suppress the true Mountain Lei. The true Mountain Lei crushed the Jiao Dragon Spirits and broke free. Chaos Divine Wood. Chaos Strike. Seeing that the true Lightning Mountain was summoned back by the true Lightning Two Saints, the Chaos Divine Wood appeared in Yi Chenfeng's body. Under his control, it lashed out at the true Lightning Mountain. Boom! A thunderous sound rang out in the void. The terrifying sound made people tremble. Energy like a volcanic eruption spread out in the void, and the entire space fell into chaos. The primal Chaos Divine Wood had continuously evolved. Its full power attack was comparable to a mid-grade sacred treasure. The true Mountain Lei, which was flashing with lightning, was sent flying by the primal Chaos Divine Wood. Shocking cracks appeared on the huge mountain. What? Another holy treasure? Where did this guy come from? How could he have so many holy treasures on him? Witnessing the true Lightning Mountain being sent flying by the Chaos Divine Wood, the true Lightning Two Saints' hearts trembled. At this moment, their hearts were filled with regret. They regretted that they had been blinded by greed and rushed to kill Yi Chenfeng, causing themselves to fall into eternal damnation. Sword Puppet. Restrain one person. Yi Chenfeng ordered the sword puppet to attack with all its might. Upon receiving the order, the sword puppet ignored the attacks of the true Lightning Two Saints and approached the second true Lightning Brother. Under his horrified gaze, it reached out and grabbed his arm. In the next moment, the sword puppet circled behind the second true Lightning Brother and used its 4 limbs to temporarily restrict his movements. 9 Dragon Jade Annulus. Kill. Seizing the opportunity when the sword puppet forcibly restricted the second true Lightning Brother's movements, Yi Chenfeng once again injected the soul power that he had just recovered into the 9 Dragon Jade Annulus, condensing a murderous dragon and attacking the second true Lightning Brother. Boom! Heaven and earth erupted, startling the 9 heavens. A terrifying power fell to the ground like a meteor, directly destroying the second true Lightning Brother's body and killing him. Second Brother. Seeing the second true Lightning Brother also being killed by Yi Chenfeng, the true Lightning Brother's eyes instantly turned blood red as he cried out in grief. Young master, it's not easy to stay here. Let's leave quickly. Witnessing Yi Chenfeng's display of might and killing the true Lightning Two Saints, the Mirror Moon sex expert who was hiding in the dark, ready to deal a fatal blow to Yi Chenfeng at any time, felt his heart tremble. Go! Although he was unwilling, Jingjiaki was indeed frightened by Yi Chenfeng's terrifying strength. He quickly followed the Mirror Moon sex expert and left this place. It's your turn. Yi Chunfeng drank another mouthful of heavenly fate water, quickly recovering his almost depleted soul power. He cast his gaze toward the true lightning brother, whose eyes were blood-red and filled with killing intent. "I want your lives." In the face of desperation, the true lightning brother didn't run. Instead, he used himself as a medium and merged into the myriad ghost banner, activating its strongest attack. "Kill." A voice that seemed to come from hell rang out from the myriad ghost banner. After merging with the true lightning brother's body, the myriad ghost banner turned into a terrifying ghost dragon. It twisted its huge body and launched a fatal blow at Yi Chunfeng. Universe Strike. Facing the true lightning brother's final attack, Yi Chunfeng multitasked. He used his mind to control the fallen soul bell to block with all its might, while controlling the 81 universe swords to merge together into a universe giant sword. He viciously slashed at the ghost dragon formed by the myriad ghost banner. The sword puppet and Xingluo's doppelganger also launched fatal attacks at the myriad ghost banner, damaging the true lightning brother who had merged with the myriad ghost banner. Boom! Boom! Under the all-out attack of Yi Chunfeng's two doppelgangers, the ghost dragon formed by the myriad ghost banner was forcibly blocked. The true lightning brother who had merged with the myriad ghost banner was also heavily injured. However, in order to avenge his two dead brothers, the true lightning brother went all out. He exploded his body and merged all of his blood into the myriad ghost banner, increasing the power of the ghost dragon. He forcibly tore through the attacks of Yi Chunfeng and the others and attacked Yi Chunfeng from close range. Boom! The ghost dragon viciously slammed into the 9-dragon jade annulus that Yi Chunfeng had placed in front of him. In the next instant, the 9-dragon jade annulus, which had fused with a large amount of soul power, unleashed its killing power, bombarding the 10,000 ghost banner with unparalleled ferocity. It forcibly tore apart the 10,000 ghost banner, wiping out Boss True Lightning's life force. Heaven-burning sacred flame, extinguish. As Yi Chunfeng was sent flying by the violent force, he spat out the heaven-burning sacred flame. It passed through the cracks of the myriad ghost banner and burned toward the true lightning brother. A painful roar resounded through the sky. Under the burning of the heaven-burning sacred flame, the true lightning brother whose body had exploded was burned alive. The 3 true lightning saints who had rampaged through the lightning territory for tens of thousands of years and gave the lightning clan endless headaches were all killed by Yi Chunfeng. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the save button below to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1267. Brother Yizhou Tianyi, who had activated his sword heart, saw Yi Chunfeng falling to the ground from the terrifying recoil. His heart tightened, afraid that an accident would happen. Watermark advertisement test. Watermark advertisement test. While he was distracted, a sharp sword pierced through his body, causing a large amount of blood to spurt out. Go to hell. A level 3 war beast emperor roared, wanting to kill Zhou Tianyi in one go and in his life. However, at this critical moment, a blurry figure appeared beside Zhou Tianyi. When a level 3 combat beast emperor with a murderous aura saw this blurry figure, 2 of its 3 souls were scared out of its wits. Its eyes widened in disbelief. "You, how could it be you?" Looking at Yi Chunfeng, who appeared beside Zhou Tianyi, this level 3 combat beast emperor felt like he had seen a ghost. All the hair on his body stood on end. In his memory, Yi Chunfeng had just been heavily injured by Boss True Thunder's last attack. He should have fallen far away. It was impossible for him to appear in front of him. While he was panicking, Yi Chunfeng suddenly appeared and threw out a palm strike towards his head. "No, you're not him. Who are you?" Instinctively, this level 3 combat beast emperor defended with all his strength, blocking Yi Chunfeng's palm strike. Suddenly, he thought of something. At this moment, Zhou Tianyi, whose body was pierced, suddenly exerted his strength and merged with the power of his sword heart. He slashed out with his sword, creating a sharp sword light in the air, splitting his body into two halves. Blood splattered all over the ground, and he died on the spot. You're too heavily injured. Quickly go to the formation to heal yourself. Leave the rest to us. Yi Chunfeng twisted his body and looked at Zhou Qianni, who was heavily injured and was struggling to hold on with his willpower, and ordered without any room for resistance. Who are you? Zhou Qianni covered his bleeding chest and asked as he looked at the person who looked exactly like Yi Chunfeng, his mirror image. As he spoke, an earth-shattering explosion came from the place where Yi Chunfeng fell. The masters of the major forces hiding in the dark seized the opportunity when Yi Chunfeng was injured and fell to the ground. They showed up one after another and controlled their Gudao treasure to attack him. They wanted to kill him in one fell swoop. Under the ferocious attacks of dozens of people, the whole earth trembled violently, as if there was an earthquake. Like a meteor shower, Taoist treasures of various shapes and Gudao treasures completely destroyed the ground where Yi Chunfeng had fallen. The ground collapsed for hundreds of feet. That kid should be dead by now. Looking at the bottomless ground, the experts of the various major forces in the air let out long sighs of relief. Even a quasi-sacred artifact would not be able to withstand the attacks of dozens of Dao treasures and Gudao treasure at the same time. Nirvana's almighty beings will be able to shatter Hong City. Thinking up to this point, the experts from the various major powers quickly flew towards the cave that had collapsed by several tens of feet. They wanted to snatch the treasures in Yi Chunfeng's possession. Suddenly, strange formation flags appeared in the cave that was filled with destructive power. They directly sealed the collapsed ground space and trapped everyone. In the next moment, a pitch-black sword ray soared into the sky. It was as if the sea was overturning the world and tearing apart space. It killed 3 combat beast emperors with one strike. No, he's not dead. He's not dead. Looking at Yi Chunfeng, who was wearing a golden dragon robe and looked like the king of swords, appearing in front of them, the dozens of Thunder Territory masters who had sneak-attacked Yi Chunfeng were stunned. They all fled towards the collapsed space. It was too late to escape. Yi Chunfeng formed a formation with a thought. 81 Qianquan swords flew out of his body. Under the deduction of the God-Eater brain, the sound of the great Tao played a chapter of death. Under his attacks, which are like the autumn wind sweeping away the fallen leaves, countless experts died. The terrifying sword might cause a vacuum to appear in the space. It was as if the entire space could not withstand Yi Chunfeng's attacks and could collapse and be destroyed at any time. Everyone, don't run for your lives. We can only have a chance of survival if we join forces and attack together. A Nirvana master covered in blood shouted. He wanted to gather everyone's strength and fight to the death with Yi Chunfeng. Would it be useful to have more people? Yi Chunfeng, who was wearing a low-grade saint robe, ignored the fierce attacks of the crowd. He held the dragon spine, sacred sword, and killed in the air. He kept reaping the lives of the masters. No, don't kill me. I beg you, don't kill me. I know I was wrong. As long as you don't kill me, I'm willing to be your slave. Yi Chunfeng's crazy killing scene crossed the line in the hearts of many people. Many people begged for mercy, begging Yi Chunfeng to spare their lives. However, Yi Chunfeng was never merciful to his enemies. He turned a deaf ear to their pleas and continued to kill. Soon, the collapsed space was filled with the thick smell of blood. Only the Nirvana old man, who was covered in blood and holding a snake spear, was left. Dark Serpent Spear, after seeing Yi Chunfeng's ruthless methods, the Nirvana old man knew that begging for mercy was useless. He fused the power of the 2 Tao diagrams into the snake spear in his hand. Like a spatial crack in the void, the spear pierced toward Yi Chunfeng's chest. Seeing that Yi Chunfeng's chest was pierced by the Dark Serpent Spear, more than 200 million pounds of strength erupted. The bronze sword soul merged with the dragon spine sacred sword. A black dragon-like sword light flew out and heavily slashed the Dark Serpent Spear. The terrifying attack power directly sent the Nirvana realm old man flying. When the old man's body slammed into the stone wall behind him, a dazzling golden light flashed in front of his eyes. He instinctively threw out a punch, wanting to force Yi Chunfeng back. Crack! Yi Chenfeng's fist collided with the old man's fist. The power of over 200 million pounds and the power of death from the dead spirit bead directly shattered the old man's fist light and rushed into his arm. At the same time, the bones in his arm were crushed and the life force in his arm was severed. In the blink of an eye, the old man's arm withered. This strange scene caused him to fall into despair. Blood vitality, lifespan, combustion, his injuries continued to worsen. The old man burned all of his blood vitality and lifespan to increase his strength to the greatest extent. This was his final struggle. However, Yi Chenfeng had too many means of attack. The purple beginnings sacred thunder, the burning heaven sacred flame, and the universe sword array continued to suppress the old man. After more than an hour, the old man, whose injuries were getting worse, could no longer resist. Yi Chenfeng's sword slashed open his body, killing him on the spot. Yi Chenfeng killed everyone like a blood-soaked Azura. Then, he collected everyone's belongings and put away the formation flags that sealed the space into the universe mirror. Then, he flew out of the collapsed space that gave off a pungent smell of blood and arrived outside. At this moment, under the attacks of the sword puppet, Xingluo's doppelganger, and the spiritual fish, 80% of the experts who came to kill Yi Chenfeng had been killed. A large amount of blood gathered into a stream of blood, and broken limbs scattered on the ground. The entire space had turned into a purgatory on Earth. Tianyi, are you all right? Yi Chenfeng completely released his soul spirit and found that there was no one within a radius of a few miles. He kept the two doppelganger back into the universe realm and came to the side of Zhou Tianyi, whose body had been pierced and his injuries were not light. He asked with concern, "I'm fine." The pale Zhou Tianyi shook his head and said weakly, "Let's go back to the Zhou family." Yi Chenfeng fed Zhou Tianyi a healing pill to stabilize his injuries. He summoned the spirit boat and brought Zhou Tianyi and the other two out of this purgatory on Earth. Mobile reading site. Book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. The next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1268. True Thunder 3 Saints were dead. Other than the True Thunder 3 saints, nearly 100 of the experts who went to kill Yi Chenfeng died, and the place where they were killed became hell on earth. This news spread through the entire Golden Thunder region at lightning speed, and then spread through the entire Thunder region at a terrifying speed. Suddenly, the entire Thunder region was in an uproar, and Yi Chenfeng's name was even more shocking and was well known by too many people. This news was conclusive. In the depths of the Holy Thunder City, in a palace-like building, a middle-aged man wearing a dark golden robe, with a tall stature and a domineering aura, heard this news. He frowned slightly, put down the sheepskin scroll in his hand, and looked at the handsome and extraordinary young man in front of him, and asked in a low voice. And this man was the current head of the Thunder Clan, and also a rare genius of the Thunder Clan. He cultivated for less than 1,000 years, and broke through to Nirvana, Lei Zhongtong. Lei Zifen, who had inherited Lei Zhongtong's terrifying talent and cultivated for only a little more than 100 years before he reached the Nirvana realm, said respectfully, "Moreover, this person displayed his shocking wealth at the Golden Thunder City auction. He spent more than 100 billion high-grade soul crystals and 1.5 billion top-grade soul crystals to buy many treasures, including dragon meat and stone fruits." Lei Zhongtong asked in a low voice, "Did you find out that person's identity?" He would never allow such an unstable factor to appear in the Thunder region. According to the news from the Sixth Elder, this person is most likely the person who killed Lei Chuan Wang in front of the disciplinary elder, Lei Zifen said. It was actually him? Lei Zhongtong frowned even more. "Father, is this person really related to the Great Elder?" Lei Zifen asked, looking at Lei Zhongtong, who was lost in thought. "And this person is related to the Purple Lightning Great Ancestor." That day, it was the Purple Lightning Great Ancestor who took the disciplinary elder away. Lei Zhongtong nodded and said, "And I also asked the Purple Lightning Great Ancestor about this matter, wanting to know his identity, But the purple lightning great ancestor didn't tell me. She only told me to restrain the ThunderClan's people and try not to have any conflicts with him. Lei Ziffin asked in surprise, "Does my ThunderClan still want to meddle in this matter? Let me ask the purple lightning great ancestor and see what she thinks." If the purple lightning great ancestor insists on protecting that person, my ThunderClan will not be able to touch him. With that, Lei Zhongtong put down the sheepskin scroll in his hand and slowly stood up. He then headed towards one of the ThunderClan's forbidden areas, the immortal land where Lei Zidian cultivated in seclusion. At the same time, the Nangong family and the Mirror Moon sect were also in an uproar. "Gadge, you've met that man. Can you tell what he's really like?" An old man sat cross-legged on a steep mountain peak in the Mirror Moon sect. His aura was as heavy as a mountain, as if it could suppress everything. Reporting to the great ancestor, I really didn't see through him. I originally thought that he was only a 5th-level war beast emperor, but who would have thought that he actually had 2 terrifying clones? Even the 3 true Thunder Saints died at his hands. Recalling the scene from last night, Jingjiaki felt a lingering fear. He had a feeling that if he hadn't left early, he might have become a corpse. Who would have thought that such a terrifying figure would appear in my Thunder territory? He scared away the Sky Eagle Elder, slaughtered the 3 true Thunder Saints, and slaughtered nearly 100 cultivators. One of the 2 pillars of the Mirror Moon sect, Taoist Jinghua, said with a serious expression, "Great ancestor, if you appear, can you kill this person?" Jingjiaki asked. Taoist Jinghua said, "Although I can't think of what method this person used to scare away the Sky Eagle Elder, the Sky Eagle Elder's strength is on par with mine. Even the Sky Eagle Elder chose to retreat. This is enough to prove that this person is very dangerous. However, if this person dares to come to my Mirror Moon sect, I have many methods to make him unable to return. Gadge, don't go out for a while. Stay in the Mirror Moon sect and cultivate. Wait until everything calms down before leaving." Taoist Jinghua valued Jingjiaki very much and was afraid that something would happen to him. Although Jia Qi was sullen, he was indeed a little afraid of Yi Chunfeng's strength and methods, so he obeyed. The entire Thunder territory was in an uproar because of Yi Chunfeng's massacre, but Yi Chunfeng, who was at the heart of the storm, didn't care. In the Thunder territory, as long as the ThunderClan didn't target him, Yi Chunfeng could do whatever he wanted in the Thunder territory. And with his relationship with the Black Lightning King, Yi Chunfeng believed that no matter how angry the ThunderClan was, they wouldn't target him. What's more, he killed the potential threats of the ThunderClan, which was equivalent to helping the ThunderClan clean up the tumor. "Young Master Yi, you are finally back." Although the Zhou clan was only a small force in the Thunder territory, they were very well informed. They immediately knew what happened outside the Golden Thunder City and were worried about the safety of Yi Chunfeng and the others. "Zhou clan master, I made you worry, but the matter has been resolved." Yi Chunfeng revealed a faint smile and said calmly, "Now that young Master Yi has been dealt with, how did you solve the problem?" Zhou Shanlong wanted to know what method Yi Chunfeng used to make so many experts retreat. "I killed them all," Yi Chunfeng said calmly, as if he was talking about something insignificant. "Who killed them all?" Zhou Shanlong gulped. He was completely stunned by this news. After returning to the west courtyard, Yi Chunfeng took a bath and washed away the smell of blood on his body. He then went to the universe mirror and called the King of Massacre, Imo Fengyun, and Jin Qing Dragon Bloodline over. "Blood River, this quasi-sage treasure 10,000 Ghost Banner is for you. Imo Fengyun, this Gudao treasure shield is for you. Jin Qing Dragon Bloodline, this true Thunder Mountain is for you." Yi Chunfeng didn't keep anything for himself. He gave the 3 most precious treasures to the King of Massacre and the others. "Blood River, Imo Fengyun, after some time, I plan to return to the Outer Continent. At that time, I will leave you, the Golden Iron Ape, and the Horned Flood Dragon behind." Yi Chunfeng said, "Young Master Yi Chunfeng, you want us to control the Outer Continent?" Imo Fengyun asked. "Yes, I want you to secretly integrate the forces of the Outer Continent and control the resources of the Outer Continent." Yi Chunfeng nodded and said, It shouldn't be difficult for Mo Feng Yun to integrate the Western continent, but it will be difficult for Blood River to control the Eastern continent. But this time, when we return, I will help you control the East Sea Palace. As long as we control the East Sea Palace, the problem will be much simpler. Okay, you guys go back and cultivate. Try to break through before returning to the Eastern continent, Yi Chunfeng said. After the two men and one beast left, Yi Chunfeng adjusted his breath for a while. He didn't study the stone fruit and dragon meat. Instead, he took out all the spiritual items needed to make the yin-yang elixir and threw them into the Sazaka cauldron. He spat out the sky-burning saint fire to purify the elixir. The yin-yang elixir was a top-grade Dao elixir. For Yi Chunfeng, it was not difficult to make. He spent about a day to refine all the ingredients and made 16 yin-yang elixirs. Although 16 elixirs were not a lot, for the Zhou clan, the yin-yang elixir was only a guide to guide the balance of yin and yang in their body. They only needed to mix the yin-yang elixir into water and take it. What's more, not many people in the Zhou clan had awakened their bloodline and physique at the same time. 16 yin-yang elixirs were enough. Okay, it's time to solve the hidden illness of Tian, Yi, and the others. Yi Chunfeng put the 16 yin-yang elixirs into the porcelain bottle and left the universe realm for Zhou Shanlong's courtyard. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the save button below to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1269. Gongzi, why are you here? Zhou Shanlong, who was worried about retaliation, felt Yi Chunfeng's aura appear in the courtyard and immediately went out to greet him. Watermark advertisement, test watermark advertisement, test Zhou family head. Are you worried that Zhou family will be retaliated against because of me? Seeing the deep worry on Zhou Shanlong's face, Yi Chunfeng revealed a faint smile and said, "A little." Zhou Shanlong did not deliberately hide it and nodded heavily. Don't worry, as long as Thunder Clan does not say anything, no one dares to touch your Zhou family at this time. Yi Chunfeng said, even Mirror Moon's sect does not dare. Gongzi Yi, what is your relationship with Thunder Clan? Thinking about Yi Chunfeng cutting off Lei Chuan Wang's legs in public, Thunder Clan chose to remain silent. Zhou Shanlong was full of curiosity about his identity. It doesn't matter, but I know a senior who has a very high position in the Thunder Clan. Yi Chunfeng shook his head and said, all right, Patriarch Zhou, don't worry. I will guarantee your Zhou clan's safety. These 16 yin-yang life pills are for you. Yin-yang life pills. Looking at the 16 yin-yang life pills in the porcelain bottle, Zhou Shanlong revealed a look of ecstasy. Put the yin-yang life pills into water and take it. It can cure your body's hidden disease. Each pill can cure 3 to 4 people. Yi Chunfeng said slowly. Thank you, Gongzi Yi, your kindness to my Zhou family. We will never forget it. Zhou Shanlong bowed deeply to Yi Chunfeng and said gratefully, this is what I promised your Zhou family's ancestor. Zhou family head does not need to be too polite. Yi Chunfeng smiled and said, well, Zhou family head, I'm going to cultivate. If there is anything, you can find me at any time. Finished speaking, Yi Chunfeng left. Back in the universe space, Yi Chunfeng took out the stone fruit that he spent 1 billion top-grade soul crystals to buy, held the dragon spine sacred sword, and used all his strength to break the hard stone shell. Suddenly, a powerful life force pervaded the stone fruit. The life force was strong, several times stronger than the earth fate fruit that Yi Chunfeng obtained. This is a longevity fruit. After breaking open the stone shell, Yi Chunfeng saw a cherry-sized dark green fruit with blood-red Dao runes on it. Looking at the shape of this fruit, Yi Chunfeng immediately recognized that this fruit was a type of life fruit recorded in the God Eater Brain's inherited memories. Compared to the Earth Fate fruit, the value of the longevity increasing fruit was much higher. A mature longevity increasing fruit could increase one's lifespan by 10,000 years. For those old monsters whose lifespan was almost depleted, they were willing to pay any price to exchange for the longevity increasing fruit. Sure enough, I made the right bet. If this longevity fruit were to be auctioned, its price would probably exceed 10 billion top-grade soul crystals. Moreover, if the almighty figures of a nirvana heavenly realm were to find out that I possessed this longevity fruit, I'm afraid they would never be able to live in peace. Yi Qinfeng sealed the longevity increasing fruit in a spiritually filled porcelain box. After adjusting his breathing, he took out the ancient lightning root and swallowed it. He controlled the divine transformation of 9 transformations to refine it. The powerful spiritual energy within the ancient lightning root was refined into the Yongquan acupoint at the bottom of his feet, increasing the transformation speed of the true spirit bead. Rumble. In the process of refining the ancient lightning root, Yi Qinfeng's body constantly emitted deafening thunder. The extremely destructive power of the ancient lightning root was constantly destroying his body. However, after cultivating the divine transformation of 9 transformations to the astral body realm, Yi Qinfeng's body was comparable to a top-grade Tao artifact. The ancient lightning root's power was unable to destroy his body and internal organs. While Yi Qinfeng endured the pain and repeatedly used the divine transformation of 9 transformations to refine the ancient lightning root and temper his body, Zhou Shanlong melted the 8 yin-yang life pills into spirit liquid and distributed it to Zhou Tianyi, Zhou Shui, and the others. The efficacy of the yin-yang life pills far exceeded Zhou Shanlong's and the others' expectations. After taking the spirit liquid, Zhou Shanlong felt that the backlash between the true yang body and the snake transformation bloodline was getting weaker and weaker. After several days of transformation, the true yang body and the snake transformation bloodline in their bodies had completely merged. The hidden illness that had troubled the Zhou clan for countless years had been resolved. After resolving the hidden illness in their bodies, the Zhou clan had the initial hope of rising up. Just as the entire Zhou clan was immersed in deep excitement, Yin Ruoshi, accompanied by 2 earth insect experts, came to the Zhou clan mansion to visit Yi Qinfeng. After learning that Yi Qinfeng had started a massacre outside the Golden Thunder City and killed nearly 100 people, including the 3 True Thunder Saints, everyone in the Earth Yin sect was shocked. If Yi Qinfeng hadn't been able to resolve Yin Ruoshi's hidden illness, Yin Ruoshi definitely wouldn't have taken such a huge risk to see him at this juncture. Sect Master Yin, before I concoct the pill for you and cure your body's hidden illness, can I get a promise from you? Yi Qinfeng asked softly as he looked at the mature and charming Yin Ruoshi. Young Master Yi, please say it. As long as I can do it, I will definitely agree to it. Seeing how terrifying Yi Qinfeng was, Yin Ruoshi wanted to get closer to him, so she said happily, if the Zhou clan is in trouble in the future, please help the Earth Yin sect at the critical moment, Yi Qinfeng said. Okay, no problem. Yin Ruoshi nodded her head in agreement. Thank you. Yi Qinfeng revealed a faint smile and asked for the medicinal herbs collected by Yin Ruoshi. He returned to his room and summoned the Suzaku cauldron to refine the pill. Half a day later, Yi Qinfeng left the room and handed 3 dark red Great Tao pills to Yin Ruoshi. He said, Sect Master Yin, you only need to take one of these 3 Great Tao pills to cure your body's hidden illness. As for the remaining 2, keep them for emergencies. Thank you. Yin Ruoshi didn't expect Yi Qinfeng to succeed in refining the pills so quickly. Feeling the majestic medicinal power of the 3 Great Tao pills, she believed in these 3 pills without a doubt. After getting the 3 Great Tao pills that were very important to her, Yin Ruoshi didn't stay in the Zhou clan for long. She left after giving the Zhou clan some cultivation resources. After Yin Ruoshi and the others left, Yi Qinfeng called Zhou Tianyi, Zhou Shui, and Zhou Yuhan to his room. First, he used the 10,000 years immortal dew he got from the auction to cleanse their bodies and forcefully expel the excessive impurities in their bodies. Then, he used the ancient accumulation fruit he cut from the accumulation stone and the 3 Great Tao pills to increase their strength. Although the process of Yi Qinfeng forcefully increasing their strength was very painful, Zhou Tianyi and the others knew that this kind of opportunity was hard to come by. If they missed it, they would regret it for the rest of their lives. So, they all gritted their teeth and persevered. Finally, The three of them persevered for 2 days and 2 nights. Zhou Shui and Zhou Yuhan both increased their realms. Especially Zhou Yuhan. She was forcefully promoted from a 3rd-level Beast Emperor to a 5th-level Beast Emperor. Not long after the two women increased their realms, a large number of dark clouds suddenly appeared in the sky above the Zhou clan's mansion. An oppressive and terrifying aura shrouded the entire Zhou clan's mansion, making everyone in the Zhou clan feel as if there was a big stone pressing on their hearts, making it hard for them to breathe. Looking at the tribulation clouds that suddenly appeared, Yi Chunfeng revealed a faint smile. He said to Zhou Shui and Zhou Shui, who were pale with fright, "I'll take Tianni to go through heaven's punishment. You guys wait in the Zhou clan's mansion." After saying that, Yi Chunfeng grabbed Zhou Tianni, who was on the verge of breaking through, and flew up into the sky with him. They left the chaotic Zhou clan's mansion at an extremely fast speed and came to the mountains northwest of Yizhou City, ready to guard Zhou Tianni to go through heaven's punishment. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark at the bottom to record this reading record. You can see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1270. Tianni, I think you should be clear about the benefits of passing the heavenly punishment. If you can pass the heavenly punishment, you can use the power of the heavenly punishment to temper yourself and deepen your comprehension of the Tao. You can also increase the power of your sword heart. Watermark advertisement, test watermark advertisement test. If you can't pass the heavenly punishment, the risk is not small. Without great determination, it is impossible to pass. Yi Chunfeng looked at Zhou Tianni, who was sitting cross-legged, and solemnly instructed, "Don't worry, big brother, I won't let you down. I will definitely pass the heavenly punishment." Zhou Tianni tightly clenched his fist and said firmly, "Good. Prepare with all your might." Yi Chunfeng nodded and stood outside the area where Zhou Tianni was undergoing the tribulation. He released his powerful soul power and covered the surroundings to protect him. Whoosh, whoosh, the tribulation clouds in the sky became thicker and thicker. Endless gales spread out from the violently churning tribulation clouds, sweeping through the valley where Zhou Tianni was. Dust filled the valley, rocks flew everywhere, and large patches of vegetation were uprooted. Rumble, rumble suddenly. A deafening sound of thunder rang out from the violently churning tribulation clouds. Endless wild lightning tore through the tribulation clouds, as if thousands of soldiers and horses had broken out of the tribulation clouds. With a terrifying destructive power, they bombarded the fearless Zhou Tianni. Heavenly lightning tribulation looking at the descending lightning. Yi Chunfeng knew that this was just a normal heavenly lightning tribulation. As long as Zhou Tianni had a strong martial heart, he would definitely be able to pass it. Boom, 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 the heavenly lightning tribulation descended and instantly swallowed Zhou Tianni. It crazily destroyed his body, wanting to shatter him. Snake transformation bloodline ignition facing the attack of the heavenly lightning tribulation. Zhou Tianni immediately ignited his snake transformation bloodline. A terrifying phantom of an ancient beast appeared on his body, increasing his strength. Dust Cloud Sword Codex after igniting his bloodline to withstand the attack of the heavenly lightning tribulation. Zhou Tianni took out his king armament and used the first move of the Dusk Cloud Sword Codex that he had just comprehended. Shocking sword lights interweaved and tore apart the heavenly lightning tribulation, weakening its power. Zhou Tianni fought for more than an hour and resisted the first attack of the heavenly lightning tribulation. However, his physical body could not be compared to Yi Chunfeng's. Under the crazy destruction of the heavenly lightning tribulation, his body was severely damaged, and many parts of his bones could be seen. Tianni, take this low-grade ancient Tao pill. Seeing Zhou Tianni's injuries, Yi Chunfeng rushed to Zhou Tianni's side, who was covered in blood, before the second heavenly punishment descended, and fed him a low-rank ancient Tao pill that emitted a strong medicinal fragrance. Rumble, it was as if 10,000 bolts of lightning had exploded within the violently tumbling tribulation clouds, and an earth-shattering explosion rang out. A large amount of heavenly lightning broke through the tribulation clouds and bombarded Zhou, Tianyi, and Yi Chunfeng, who had barged into the tribulation area. Because Yi Chunfeng was too powerful, most of the lightning bolts were aimed at him. They wanted to kill Yi Chunfeng, who had barged into the tribulation zone. Yi Chunfeng pointed in the air, and the map of heaven and earth Tao shot out, circling above his head. The terrifying will of heaven and earth tore apart the hundreds of heavenly punishments that came crashing down and calmly retreated to the outside of the tribulation area. Just as Yi Chunfeng retreated, Zhou Qianyi, who had fused with the ancient Tao pill's medicinal energy and whose meridians had swelled up, let out a loud cry of pain. Enduring the immense pain, Zhou Qianyi held his king armament and madly attacked. He borrowed the power of the heavenly punishment to refine the medicinal energy of the ancient Tao pill, and used all his strength to break through to the rank 2 combat Beast Emperor realm. Although this process was extremely painful, Zhou Qianyi did not retreat. He relied on his powerful martial heart and bitterly persevered. Finally, Zhou Qianyi, who was covered in blood and on the verge of collapse, after nearly 4 hours of baptism by the heavenly punishment and refining the medicinal energy in his body, broke through the bottleneck and broke through to the rank 2 combat Beast Emperor realm. After breaking through, Zhou Qianyi's heavenly punishment did not disperse. At this time, Yi Chunfeng once again barged into Zhou Tianyi's tribulation area and endured the heavenly punishment that was crazily attacking him. He took out 10 blood pearls that he had obtained in the abyss of hell and fused them into 10 of Zhou Qianyi's main acupoints. Rumble. Sensing the appearance of the 10 blood pearls, the tribulation clouds that were about to disperse once again rumbled with thunder. Hundreds of lightning bolts broke through the tribulation clouds, increasing the power of the heavenly punishment, wanting to kill both Yi Chunfeng and Zhou Qianyi. Shua. Facing the 10,000 zhang long lightning bolts, Yi Chunfeng used his hand as a sword and slashed through the air. A terrifying sword light soared into the clouds, shattering all the lightning bolts that were attacking him and retreating to the outside of the tribulation area. True Yang body, awakening facing the heavenly punishment that was increasing in power, Zhou Tianyi activated his true Yang body, increasing his physical strength and fighting with all his strength in the heavenly punishment. And there was something in this valley. While Zhou Qianyi was gritting his teeth and going through the tribulation with all his strength, the entire valley was destroyed beyond recognition by the terrifying heavenly lightning tribulation. The hard ground of the valley was continuously collapsing, and large amounts of intersecting cracks appeared. A dense spirit qi seeped out from the depths of the heavily damaged valley. This was the Golden Lightning Stone Mine. When Yi Chunfeng released his powerful soul force to forcefully penetrate through the cracks in the ground, he unexpectedly discovered a golden lightning stone mine at the bottom of the valley. Although it was only a preliminary detection, Yi Chunfeng had a feeling that this golden lightning stone mine hidden deep underground was very, very big. It definitely contained more golden lightning stones than the one the Zhou clan had discovered. However, the Zhou clan was currently too weak, and he couldn't stay here forever. This golden lightning stone mine might bring disaster to the Zhou clan. After thinking about it, Yi Chunfeng thought a way to get the best of both worlds, and that was to let the Zhou clan and other forces develop this golden lightning stone mine together. Although jointly developing it would cause the Zhou clan to lose a large amount of resources, what the Zhou clan needed the most at this stage wasn't resources, but time. To be willing to give up a portion of the golden lightning stone mine in exchange for protection, this deal would only benefit the Zhou clan. The heavenly lightning tribulation became more and more intense, crazily destroying Zhou Tianyi's body. Under the baptism of the heavenly punishment, Zhou Qianyi continuously refined the remaining medicinal energy in his body and the energy of the 10 blood pearls, further increasing his strength. And under the tempering of the heavenly punishment, his sword heart became stronger and stronger, gradually showing signs of transforming. Finally, after Zhou Tianyi fought fiercely for half a day, his second heavenly punishment dispersed. At this time, there wasn't much energy left in the tribulation clouds. Zhou Tianyi only needed to withstand the last heavenly punishment, and he would be able to pass the heavenly punishment and be reborn. Rumble, the power of the heavenly punishment in the tribulation clouds, quickly gathered, converging into a terrifying pillar of lightning. Like a roaring thunder dragon, it broke through the tribulation clouds and bombarded the heavily injured Zhou Tianyi. And this last heavenly punishment instantly drained all the energy in the tribulation clouds, and its power increased by several times. Mu Yun's sword cannon facing the last attack of the heavenly punishment, Zhou Tianyi ignored his injuries and activated the power of his sword heart, fusing it with his understanding of the way of the sword, and slashed out with the strongest sword attack he had mastered so far. An illusory sword light like a ray of sunset light shot up into the sky, slashing at the thunder dragon-like heavenly punishment, forcibly weakening its power. Although Zhou Tianyi's sword light was shattered by the heavenly punishment after more than 10 breaths of time, the heavenly punishment's power had decreased by nearly half and could no longer threaten Zhou Tianyi's life. In the end, the thunder dragon-like heavenly punishment disappeared after heavily injuring Zhou Tianyi. Zhou Tianyi relied on his unyielding belief and constantly transforming sword heart to pass the heavenly punishment, and rose to the peak of level 2 Beast Emperor in one fell swoop. On Sunday, Yin Lei will give out 20 password red packets on the official WeChat account. Those who want to add Yin Lei's official WeChat account, WildTY83. There are only 20 slots on Sunday, and Yin Lei will give out more in the future. Everyone, please take care of the official account. Mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1271. Not bad, not bad. Tianyi, you went through the heavenly punishment perfectly. I'll give you this sword Dao tablet. Yi Chenfeng simply healed Zhou Tianyi's injuries and gave him the sword Dao tablet that he had obtained earlier. Hunting Literature Network, thank you, big brother, for protecting me, Zhou Tianyi said gratefully as he received the sword Dao tablet. His face was slightly pale, but he was in good condition. Tianyi, look at what's under your feet, Yi Chenfeng said with a smile. Under my feet? Zhou Tianyi was stunned. He released his soul power and penetrated the crisscrossing cracks under his feet. Then, his pale face revealed a look of disbelief. There's a golden lightning stone mine hidden under this valley? Because the valley's ground had been severely damaged by the heavenly punishment and had collapsed more than 30 meters, the restrictions protecting the golden lightning stone mine were damaged. Zhou Tianyi released his soul power and felt the powerful golden lightning energy. That's right, there's a golden lightning stone mine hidden under this valley. Although it's just a preliminary estimate, I feel that this golden lightning stone mine is very big. If you can open it, it will bring unimaginable wealth to your Zhou family. Yi Chenfeng nodded and said, That's great. Grandfather will be overjoyed when he knows about this. Zhou Tianyi said excitedly. Tianyi, don't be happy first. Let me ask you, do you think that with the Zhou family strength, we can open 2 golden lightning stone mines at the same time? You have to know that the bigger the golden lightning stone mine, the more likely it is that there are powerful demonic beasts hidden in the mine. And your Zhou family doesn't have any experts guarding it. Yi Chenfeng looked at Zhou Tianyi's ecstatic expression and said slowly. Yi Chenfeng's words were like a basin of cold water, extinguishing the joy in Zhou Tianyi's heart. Using a common saying, one can't eat until one is fat. If the Zhou family wants to rise, we have to take one step at a time. If the steps are too big, something will happen sooner or later. Yi Chenfeng reminded. Big brother, you mean to let my Zhou family open this golden lightning stone mine together with other forces? Zhou Tianyi understood Yi Chenfeng's meaning and said, Yi Chenfeng nodded and said, "That's right. Working together to open up the Golden Lightning Stone Mine is the best solution. There are only benefits for your Zhou clan. There are no disadvantages. Big brother, who do you think we should look for to open the Gold Lightning Stone Mine?" Zhou Tianyi asked. "What do you think of the Nangong clan and the Earthine sect?" Yi Chenfeng asked. The reason why Yi Chenfeng rejected the Thunder clan was because he didn't understand the Thunder clan. Before the Black Lightning King arrived, he didn't want to have too much contact with the Thunder clan. Although the Nangong clan and the Earthly Een sect were powerful, with Yi Chenfeng's current strength, he could definitely deal with the threat of these two forces. Nangong family. Zhou Tianyi's eyes lit up. He couldn't help but think of Nangong Qingxue, who he yearned for day and night. Let's go back. It's up to your Zhou clan to decide how to open this mine. What I said just now is just my personal suggestion. With that, Yi Chenfeng and Zhou Tianyi left the heavily collapsed valley that had been destroyed by the heavenly punishment and returned to the Zhou family residence. When Zhou Shanlong learned that there was a large golden lightning stone mine to the northwest of Zhou Memory City, he was pleasantly surprised but also a bit worried. His thoughts were the same as Yi Chenfeng's. Although the golden lightning stone mine was good, the Zhou clan was powerless. It could be said that without Yi Chenfeng's appearance, the first golden lightning stone mine would have probably already been snatched away by the East River clan. "Grandfather, Big brother Yi has suggested that my Zhou clan, the Earthine sect, and the Nangong clan open up the golden lightning stone mine together," said Zhou Tianyi. "Yes, with my Zhou clan's strength, opening up the golden lightning stone mine together with the other powers is indeed the best option. However, my Zhou clan doesn't have any relationship with the Nangong clan or the Earthine sect. I'm afraid," said Zhou Shanlong worriedly. "Don't worry, Zhou clan head. This kind of good thing is like a meat pie falling from the sky. They won't refuse it." Yi Chenfeng smiled. Furthermore, Tianyi is acquainted with Nangong Qingxue and Yin Ruashi. Why don't you have him go with you to pay a visit to the two powers? All right then. Tomorrow, I'll bring Tianyi to pay a visit to the Nangong clan and the Earthine sect. Zhou Shanlong looked deeply at Yi Chenfeng. Then, he stopped hesitating and made a prompt decision. "I'll have my clone go with you." In order to avoid any accidents, Yi Chenfeng had the sword puppet accompany Zhou Shanlong to pay a visit to the two powers. After Zhou Shanlong's group left, Yi Chenfeng did not stay in the Zhou clan. Instead, he went to the mountains to the northwest and laid down a restriction to cover the golden lightning stone mine hidden in the valley to prevent others from discovering it. The night grew deeper and deeper, and the entire forest was silent. Only the chirping of the insects in the grass could be heard. A raging bonfire suddenly lit up the pitch-black mountain forest. Then a mouth-watering meat fragrance drifted in the mountain forest, attracting a lot of demonic beasts in the mountain forest. However, the sword intent emitted from Yi Chenfeng's body was too terrifying. None of the demonic beasts dared to approach him. They could only hide in the lush shrubs and watch from afar. Yi Chenfeng and the spirit fish Selenium were roasting the dragon meat until it was golden yellow. The dragon meat was dripping with oil. It was filled with spirituality, and the fragrance of the meat was overflowing. So delicious, this dragon meat is too delicious. The spirit fish's mouth was stuffed full of dragon meat. Its eyes were curved into the shape of a crescent moon as it ate with relish. A large amount of dragon meat entered their stomachs and immediately turned into pure dragon power. It fused into their bodies, making them feel warm and comfortable. Suddenly, a shadow flashed past Yi Chenfeng's sharp eyes. A blurry figure appeared beside the bonfire. With a light stroke of its finger, it cut off a piece of dragon meat that was emitting a thick fragrance and stuffed it into its mouth. "Who are you? Why are you snatching our meat?" There was not much dragon meat to begin with. Looking at the audacious man in black, the spirit fish was enraged. Its petite body emitted a thick, oppressive aura as it questioned fiercely. "Little girl, don't be so fierce. After eating your meat, I'll compensate you with something." The man in black, who had a square face and a thick black beard around his mouth, was skinny and had long arms. He revealed a mouthful of white teeth and said with a smile, "Who's going to compensate you?" Spit out the meat that you ate." As she spoke, the spirit fish's petite body emitted a force of 100 million pounds. She threw a punch, and the air surged. The terrifying fist radiance was like a meteor as it bombarded the man in black. Xian, you've got a temper. Although the spirit fish's punch was powerful enough to smash a mountain, there was no trace of panic on the man in black's face. With a light tap of his finger, he broke the 100 million pound fist radiance from the spirit fish and defused the attack of the spirit fish easily. Expert. Yi Chenfeng's pupils constricted as shock appeared on his cold face. Even he would not be able to break the spirit fish's punch so easily. You're gifted and have great strength. The man in black's obsidian-like eyes shot out rays of light as he revealed a strange look. Spirit fish, stop fooling around. Yi Chenfeng looked at the man in black, whose strength was unfathomable, and immediately shouted at the spirit fish. You're from the Thunder Tribe, right? The man in black tasted the delicious dragon meat and looked at the angry spirit fish as he asked. No, we're not from the Thunder Tribe. Yi Chenfeng shook his head and said, You're not from the Thunder Tribe, but you've got dragon meat. The two of you are not simple. The man in black took out a bottle of wine from his universe ring and took a big gulp. Senior, you're not simple either. Yi Chenfeng said faintly. The man in black took out 2 more bottles of wine and threw them to Yi Chenfeng and the spirit fish. He was in a good mood as he said, Haha, come, try my wine. Today, we'll only talk about romance and nothing else. Shameless old man, who wants to talk about romance with you? The spirit fish curled his lips and took a big gulp of wine as he said fiercely. Although Yi Chenfeng was curious about the identity of the man in black, he was a smart person and did not take the initiative to ask. Instead, he chatted with the man in black about some interesting things. Soon, a large piece of dragon meat was divided into 3 equal portions and swallowed into their stomachs. The wine that the man in black had brewed was also emptied by them. Great, I haven't been this happy in a long time. After eating and drinking to his heart's content, the man in black slowly stood up and said, I don't owe favors. Since I've eaten your dragon meat, I'll teach you a set of footwork. How much you can comprehend will depend on your talent. As he spoke, the man in black moved like a ghost under the dark night sky. In an instant, he transformed into dozens of afterimages and left 108 footprints on the ground. All right, the two of you are awake. We'll meet again if fate wills it. As he spoke, the man in black's body flashed slightly and mysteriously disappeared into the night sky. Remember the website, Sanwu Chinese Network. Chapter 1272. Damn it, that old bastard is too despicable. He ate our dragon meat and ran away. The spirit fish looked at the black-robed man, disappearing into the night sky. She gritted her teeth, puffed up her cheeks, and gritted her teeth. That man's strength is unfathomable. I suspect that he has reached the nirvana heavenly realm. The God-Eater brain had undergone many transformations and was extremely terrifying. However, Yi Chenfeng had tried to sense the man in black several times, but he still couldn't sense his true strength. Brother Chenfeng, do you think that he's plotting something against us by appearing out of nowhere and snatching our dragon meat? The spirit fish's pink face revealed a trace of surprise as she guessed. No, I think he was just attracted by the delicious dragon meat. Yi Chenfeng shook his head and said, Let's go and see what kind of footsteps he left behind. As he spoke, Yi Chenfeng and the spirit fish came to an open space not far away and found 108 footsteps of the same depth and special tracks. What mysterious footsteps! When Yi Chenfeng closed his eyes and controlled the God-Eater brain to deduce the seemingly messy 108 footsteps, he was immediately deeply attracted. He had a feeling that the 108 footsteps left by the man in black were even more mysterious than the divine sword steps. Its value was immeasurable. Who was this man? Someone who could leave behind such mysterious footsteps was definitely a famous figure in the Central Continent. However, Yi Chenfeng's understanding of the Central world was limited, so he couldn't guess the man's identity. Spirit fish, since we have nothing to do, let's slowly figure out this set of footsteps. If we can figure out, it will be of great help to us, Yi Chenfeng suggested. Yes, The spirit fish was also someone who knew what was good for her. She had long been attracted by this set of mysterious footsteps and nodded her little head. Time passed day by day. Yi Chun Feng and the spirit fish were like two statues, sitting cross-legged beside the 108 footsteps and controlling their soul power to figure it out. Although this set of footwork was more profound than the sword footwork, it was more useful to Yi Chun Feng, who majored in swordsmanship. He used the powerful deduction ability of the God-Eater brain to try to fuse this set of profound footwork with the sword footwork and increase the level of the sword footwork. The spiritual fish was also trying to integrate this set of footwork with the 8 divine ape shadows. Soon, more than a month had passed. After more than a month of comprehension, Yi Chun Feng and the spirit fish both had new insights and improved the level of their sword steps and 8 divine ape shadows. It was especially so for Yi Chun Feng. With the help of the God-Eater brain, he had forcefully raised his sword steps by 2 levels and cultivated it to perfection. With a single step, he could instantly increase his speed by 10 times. The power of the offensive sword patterns formed by the sword diagram under his feet would also increase exponentially. Just as Yi Chun Feng and the spirit fish were comprehending this set of profound footwork and increasing their strength, Zhou Shanlong and Zhou Qianni, accompanied by the sword puppet, returned to the Zhou residence. Just as Yi Chun Feng had expected, the Nangong family and the Earthine sect couldn't refuse the gift that was sent to their doorstep. They both agreed to develop the gold lightning stone mine with the Zhou family and promised to establish a long-term cooperative relationship with the Zhou family. They both sent people to Zhou Memory City to discuss the development of the gold lightning stone mine. After consuming Yi Chun Feng's great Dao pill, which cured Yin Ruoxi's hidden illness, she valued Yi Chun Feng even more. She personally came to Zhou Memory City to discuss the development of the gold lightning stone mine. However, the Nangong family only sent the 2 siblings, Nangong Qingxue and Nangong Su, as well as 2 guards in charge of their safety. They more or less looked down on the Zhou family. Insect Master, Miss Nangong, young master, this gold lightning stone mine was discovered by the Zhou family. However, the Zhou family's strength is limited, and we can't develop it alone. Therefore, we want to cooperate with you. Therefore, the Zhou family wants 40% of the gold lightning stone mine. Zhou Shanlong invited Yin Ruoxi and Nangong Qingxue to the meeting hall. He ordered people to serve them spiritual tea and discuss the most important issue of distribution. The Earthine sect has no objection. Yin Ruoxi was the first to speak. I have an objection. Right when Zhou Shanlong cast his gaze toward the Nangong siblings, Nangong Su, who was wearing gorgeous clothes, had a handsome appearance, and had an arrogant expression on his face, spoke. Young Master Nangong, do you think my distribution is unreasonable? Zhou Shanlong frowned slightly and asked politely. Yes, the Nangong family must have 60% of the gold lightning stone mine. Nangong Su took a sip of spiritual tea and said arrogantly, Nangong Su, your Nangong family has a big appetite. Yin Ruoxi showed a playful smile and said, I don't know if this is the Nangong family master's idea or your idea. Of course it is my father's idea, and I also agree with my father's suggestion. Nangong Su looked at the charming Yin Ruoxi and said with a smile, I'm sorry, young Master Nangong, but I can't agree with your distribution plan. Although he chose to cooperate with the Nangong family and the Earthine sect, Zhou Shanlong also had his own bottom line. If the Nangong family really took 60% of the gold, Yin Ruoxi would not agree. Zhou family head, you just said that your Zhou family doesn't have the ability to develop the gold lightning stone mine alone, so you chose to cooperate with us. In other words, you want to reap the benefits of others, but you don't want to contribute people, nor do you want to take 40% of the gold lightning stone. Do you think it's appropriate? Nangong Su didn't pay attention to Nangong Qingxue, who was frowning. He waved his jade fan and said in a hedonistic manner, Young Master Nangong, you have to know one thing. This gold lightning stone mine is within my Zhou family's sphere of influence. It is my Zhou family's private property. Is it not reasonable for us to take 40%? Zhou Shanlong was a little annoyed and said in a low voice, Of course it's not reasonable. This gold lightning stone mine appearing within your Zhou family's sphere of influence can only mean that your Zhou family is lucky. However, to some weak forces, being lucky may bring about a fatal disaster. Nangong Su said rudely. Nangong Su, what do you mean? Zhou Qianni could not bear to listen anymore and asked angrily. My meaning is very simple. Zhou family is too weak. Taking 40% of the gold lightning stone mine will only bring about a fatal disaster. If you want to be safe, I feel that taking 10% is enough. Nangong Su smiled faintly and said arrogantly, Young lady Nangong, you also have the same meaning. Looking down on my Zhou family, Zhou Qianni said angrily as he clenched his fists and looked at Nangong Qingxue, who was biting her lips and choosing to remain silent. Young Master Zhou, don't be angry. If you don't agree, I will contact my father and tell him your intentions. We can slowly discuss it. Nangong Qingxue faced Zhou Tianni's angry eyes and bit her red lips. No need to go through so much trouble. I have decided not to cooperate with your Nangong family. Although Zhou Qianni did not want to have a conflict with Nangong Qingxue, Nangong Su's rudeness completely angered him. Humph, you think you can stop just because you say so? Nangong Su smirked and said arrogantly, the Nangong family is not a family that anyone can mess with. If you piss us off, I promise that your Zhou family will not be able to bear the consequences. My Zhou family is not afraid of you. If you want to take revenge on my Zhou family, then come. Zhou Qianni looked at Zhou Shanlong, who was livid, and said tit for tat. Zhou family head, do you think so too? Nangong Su glanced at Zhou Qianni with disdain, and then looked at Zhou Shanlong. I will answer you for Zhou family head. Zhou family will cancel the cooperation with Nangong family. You can leave now. If you want to take revenge, then come. At this moment, a voice as sharp as an unsheathed sword suddenly sounded. At this crucial moment, Yi Chunfeng and the spiritual fish appeared. Mobile reading site, book address. In order to make it easier for you to read next time, you can click the save button at the bottom to record this reading. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1273. Young Master, you looking at Yi Chunfeng, who was wearing a white robe and had a body as straight as a cypress pine. Nangong Qingxue's face slightly changed and immediately stood up. Watermark advertisement, test watermark advertisement testes for Yin Ruashi. The instant Yi Chunfeng appeared, she stood up. However, on her charming face, there was a smile of schadenfreude. With her understanding of Yi Chunfeng, she knew that Nangong Su was going to be in trouble. Who are you? You don't have the right to speak here. Nangong Su didn't know Yi Chunfeng. He leaned on the armchair and looked at Yi Chunfeng with disdain. Little brother, don't be rude to young Master Yi. Nangong Qingxue knew how scary and ruthless Yi Chunfeng was. Although in her subconscious mind, Yi Chunfeng was far from being Nangong family's opponent, but she really didn't want to be Yi Chunfeng's enemy. It turned out that Nangong Su was used to riding roughshod over others. Relying on Nangong family support, he didn't put Yi Chunfeng in his eyes. He said coldly, I heard the true Thunder 3 saints died in your hands. Is that true? That's right, I killed the true Thunder 3 saints. Yi Chunfeng's pupils shrunk into the most dangerous pinholes, revealing a trace of a dangerous smile, and said, Although I don't know what method you used to kill the true Thunder 3 saints, but although the 3 saints are powerful, my Nangong family still has people who can kill him directly. Nangong Su didn't stand up. He slightly raised his head and said, Are you warning me not to provoke your Nangong family? Yi Chunfeng smiled and said, That's right. If you offend my Nangong family, I'll let you die without a burial ground. Nangong Su said arrogantly, Shut up. Nangong Qingxue's face changed. She wanted to stop Nangong Su from talking nonsense. Slap. The crisp sound of slap rang out. Yi Chunfeng suddenly raised his hand and slapped Nangong Su's face, sending him flying. His body flew in a beautiful arc in the air before crashing into a pillar in the distance. With a muffled sound, Nangong Su fell to the ground. Blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. 2 slightly yellowed teeth mixed with blood fell to the ground. It was a ghastly sight. Second young master, the two Nirvana almighties in charge of protecting Nangong Su, were immediately enraged when they saw Yi Chun-feng send Nangong Su flying. Two terrifying ancient beast phantoms appeared on their bodies. They were about to capture Yi Chun-feng and hand him over to Nangong Su for her to deal with. Before the two of them could make a move, the sword puppet, who had been standing at the side, opened its eyes. Its aura erupted like a volcano, and its entire body was like an unsheathed sword, incomparably sharp. Its terrifying killing intent made all the hairs on their bodies stand on end. Stop, all of you stop. What Nangong Qingxue was most worried about happened. She was afraid that the situation would worsen, so she quickly stood in front of the two Nirvana almighties and shouted, "Damn it, you dare to hit me?" Nangong Su covered his sunken face as he glared at Yi Chun-feng. At this very moment, he still couldn't believe that Yi Chun-feng really dared to hit him. This isn't a place for you to behave atrociously. If you speak any more nonsense, I'll kill you. Yi Chun-feng coldly looked at Nangong Su, who was bleeding from the corner of his mouth, and said without a trace of emotion, Good, you have guts. Just wait for my Nangong clan's revenge. I guarantee that you'll regret going against me. Nangong Su gnashed his teeth and threatened, I'm not even afraid of the Lightning Clan. Why would I be afraid of a Nangong clan? Yi Chun-feng sneered. After saying that, Yi Chun-feng took heavy steps and walked towards Nangong Su, whose expression slightly changed. Young Master Yi, I think today is a misunderstanding. I'll do my best to fight for the Zhou clan's share. Sensing Yi Chun-feng's killing intent towards Nangong Su, Nangong Qingxue immediately used her body to block him and said with a pleading tone, What were you doing earlier? Yi Chun-feng coldly looked at Nangong Qingxue's exquisite face and said coldly, I Nangong Qingxue actually had her own selfish motives. She also wanted the Zhou clan to make concessions and obtain more benefits for the Nangong clan. However, she didn't expect that the insufferably arrogant Nangong Su would directly worsen the situation. She somewhat regretted letting Nangong Su come. Nangong Qingxue, don't think that you can be fearless just because Tian Yi likes you. With Tian Yi's talent, sooner or later, he'll stand at the peak of the lightning territory. At that time, it won't be him who isn't worthy of you, but you who isn't worthy of him. Yi Chun-feng impolitely lectured Nangong Qingxue, who wanted to speak but stopped. Don't flatter him. How can a trash like him stand at the peak of the lightning territory? Nangong Su said with disdain. Nangong Su, shut up. Nangong Qingxue said with a commanding tone. Sister, no need to go through so much trouble. Let me make him shut up. As he spoke, an illusion Dao diagram appeared behind Yi Chun-feng. His deep eyes shot out a large amount of illusion Dao intent that penetrated Nangong Su's eyes and instantly bewitched his soul. In the next moment, under the control of Yi Chun-feng's will, the muddle-headed Nangong Su began to slap himself. Moreover, during the process of slapping himself, he didn't show any mercy and used all his strength. Very soon, his entire face was slapped by himself until it was unrecognizable. A large amount of blood uncontrollably flowed out from his mouth. Young lord looking at Nangong Su, whose facial injuries were getting more and more serious. The two Nirvana almighty experts who were responsible for his safety couldn't remain calm anymore. They disregarded the threat the sword puppet posed to them and were about to attack. However, the sword puppet's speed was even faster. It intercepted them in the blink of an eye and transformed into a sword and slashed out a sword ray. Immediately, a ripple appeared in the space. The terrifying sword ray directly tore apart their attacks and sent them flying. A large amount of blood spurted out from their bodies. Young Master Yi, this is all Nangong Su's fault. I beg you to let him go. I promise to give you and the Zhou clan an explanation. Seeing their two strongest experts sent flying by the sword puppet, Nangong Qingxue guessed the strength of the sword puppet and was afraid. She couldn't help but beg for mercy. She was afraid that Yi Chun-feng would kill Nangong Su. No need to go through so much trouble. Yi Chun-feng shook his head and said coldly. An intense killing intent towards Nangong Su arose. Young Master Zhou, I beg you to advise young Master Yi. My second brother has been spoiled by my father and doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. However, if something happens to him in your Zhou clan, it will definitely anger my father and cause immeasurable consequences. It will also bring endless trouble to the Zhou clan. Seeing that Yi Qinfeng wasn't moved, Nangong Qingxue had no choice but to ask Zhou Qianni for help. Big brother, forget it. Let Nangong Su live. Although Zhou Qianni was furious, he didn't want things to develop into a situation where only one of them would die. Fine. As he spoke, Yi Qinfeng stepped out with his sword steps and instantly appeared beside Nangong Su, who was continuously slapping his face. His palms surged with nearly 100 million jin of strength as he ruthlessly slapped Nangong Su's shoulder, forcefully bending his body and knocking his knees into the hard ground. Kacha! Nangong Su's knee directly shattered 2 pieces of hard ground. A large amount of blood flowed out from his shattered knee. The inhuman pain caused Nangong Su, who lost his soul, to instantly wake up. He let out a painful howl like a pig being slaughtered. Nangong Qingxue, I will give Tianni face and won't kill him today. However, if there is a next time, even the heavens won't be able to save his life. Yi Qinfeng kicked Nangong Su, who was howling in pain, to Nangong Qingxue's feet and coldly warned, Thank you, young Master Yi. Thank you, young Master Zhou. I'm truly sorry for the unpleasantness that happened today. However, I promise that I will definitely give an explanation to the Zhou clan. Nangong Qingxue helped Nangong Su, who had his knee shattered and was heavily injured up. She excused herself and left in a somewhat sorry state. Saturday Cloud Tears Club 10 updates. Asking for red packets on Sunday. WeChat official account 20 red packets. Those who want them can come to official account. YLTY83 to snatch, or official account to search for Cloud Tears Rain. Mobile reading site. Book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click the save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1274. I'm sorry, big brother. I've troubled you again. Looking at Nangong Qingxue's departing figure, Zhou Qianni's eyes revealed bitterness and sadness as he said apologetically, It's okay, it's just the Nangong family. It's not much trouble. Yi Qinfeng smiled. He didn't put the Nangong family in his eyes at all. Yi Qinfeng's tone was very big. Yin Ruoshi also felt that Yi Qinfeng had the strength. It was indeed not a wise choice for the Nangong family to provoke such a big enemy for no reason. Master Yin, let's sit down and continue to talk about cooperation. Yi Qinfeng looked at the beautiful and dangerous Yin Ruoshi, who was wearing a tight black dress, like a thorny rose, and said in a low voice, How much is young Master Yi willing to give to my Earthine sect? Yin Ruoshi deliberately sat beside Yi Qinfeng, looking at him charmingly, and asked in a charming voice, It depends on Master Zhou's intention. Yi Qinfeng didn't want to steal the limelight, and gave the decision to Zhou Shanlong. Master Yin, if you sincerely cooperate, my Zhou family is willing to give the Earth Yin sect 50% of the shares. Nangong family's withdrawal made Zhou Shanlong raise the Earth Yin sect share, using benefits to tie the Earth Yin sect and Zhou family together. Ha ha! Thank you for your generosity, Master Zhou. Then it's settled. When the time comes, my Earth Yin sect will invite a Taishang elder to oversee this place and clean up the danger in the Gold Lightning Stone Mine. Yin Ruoshi showed a satisfied smile and discussed the cooperation plan with Zhou Shanlong. In the evening, Yin Ruoshi, who reached an agreement with Zhou Shanlong, left Zhoui City accompanied by several Earth Yin sect masters to go back to make arrangements. At the same time, seeing Nangong Su's miserable state, the Nangong family's master, Nangong Zheng, who had cultivated to the peak of nirvana, was furious. He roared angrily, They've gone too far. The Zhou family has gone too far. Not only did they go back on their words, they also injured Su'er. My Nangong family must take revenge. I will destroy the Zhou family. Father, please listen to me. Looking at the enraged Nangong Zheng, Nangong Qingxue lightly sighed and said, This time, it was indeed Erdi who went a bit too far. Moreover, that Yi Chun Feng is definitely not an ordinary person. I don't recommend to have a direct confrontation with him. Qing Xue, you don't need to worry about this. Go back and rest. Nangong Zheng frowned as he looked at Nangong Qing Xue and said coldly, Father, that Yi Chun Feng has a clone that is suspected to be Nirvana, and not long ago, there was a rumor that the Thunder Clan suffered a great loss in the Zhou family. Protector Zhou Ming was killed, and both of Lei Chuan Wang's legs were cut off, but the Thunder Clan did not take revenge. This is probably related to Yi Chun Feng. Nangong Qing Xue kept persuading. She didn't want the Nangong family to have an even more intense conflict with Yi Chun Feng. I also heard about this matter, but I feel that the truth does not match the rumors. Even if that brat came from one of the three divine kingdoms and was a prince of one of the three divine kingdoms, he would not dare to be so arrogant in the Thunder Dominion. Nangong Zheng shook his head and said stubbornly, Even if that matter does not match the rumors, the true Thunder Three Saints did indeed die in the hands of Yi Chun Feng. His strength is very terrifying. Nangong Qing Xue continued, All right, Qing Xue, I see that you are tired. Go back to your room and rest. Nangong Zheng didn't continue arguing with Nangong Qing Xue and ordered people to send her back to her room to rest. Patriarch, what are you going to do? After Nangong Qing Xue left, the Nangong family's great elder, the dark-skinned and tower-like Nangong Zhe asked, Hire experts to assassinate that Yi Chun Feng. Nangong Zheng's eyes flickered with cold light as he said, Those who offend my Nangong family must pay with blood. This is a good idea. Maybe we can uncover his true identity by borrowing a knife to kill him. Nangong Zue nodded in agreement. Great Elder, tomorrow bring 100 million top-grade soul crystals to the dead demon pool and ask the insect demon to act. If he can kill the Yi Chun Feng, I will give him another 100 million top-grade soul crystals. Nangong Zheng pondered for a moment and said, The insect demon mentioned by Nangong Zheng was one of the Thunder Territory's 3 ferocious men. He committed all kinds of crimes. The number of cultivators who died in his hands exceeded several tens of thousands. Most of these people were captured by him and used their flesh and blood to raise poisonous insects called gold-devouring bugs. The insect demon's savagery once angered the Thunder Clan, who sent experts to kill him. However, the insect demon was a powerful expert of nirvana. Moreover, the gold-devouring bugs he raised ate everything. He was very terrifying. The Thunder Clan couldn't do anything to him and failed to kill him in the end. This made his ferocious name even more famous. However, such a ferocious man had a good personal relationship with Nangong Zheng. They had secret dealings and killed many people for the Nangong family. He also obtained a large amount of cultivation resources through the Nangong family. In the southern part of the Thunder Territory, there was a dead demon pool that exuded a dense aura of death. This dead demon pool was called the Dead Demon Pool, and it was one of the insect demon's secret cultivation grounds. Nangong Zue, where did this Yi Chun Feng come from? You were actually willing to spend 100 million top-grade soul crystals to hire me to kill him. The insect demon was wearing a black robe. His skin was even more delicate than a woman's, and his long black hair casually draped over his shoulders. He was drinking a cup of blood-red spirit tea as he looked at the slightly nervous Nangong Zhe. Those who had never seen the insect demon would never imagine that the insect demon that was feared in the Thunder Territory would be such a handsome man. Behind the insect demon was a man and a woman who were on the verge of death. Their bodies were covered in gold-devouring bugs. These two were once famous geniuses of the Thunder Territory. They were also siblings from the same mother. However, they had unfortunately encountered the insect demon and were captured by him. They became nutrients for the gold-devouring bugs and were tortured to the point where they wished they were dead. For them, death had become an extravagant hope. Living was the most terrifying thing. Every second they lived, they had to endure unimaginable pain. This Yi Chun Feng's identity is a bit mysterious. We investigated many ways, but were unable to find out his true identity. However, this person's strength is terrifying. The 3 true Thunder Saints died at his hands. Moreover, it is suspected that he has a clone of Nirvana. Looking at the insect demon's handsome face, Nangong Zue told him all the information he had on Yi Chenfeng. The three true Thunder Saints were dead. The insect demon revealed a hint of surprise. He had fought with the three true Thunder Saints before. Although he had defeated them in the end, he had also been injured by the three true Thunder Saints. It could be said that without the gold-devouring bugs, he was only slightly stronger than the three true Thunder Saints. Yes, not only had the three true Thunder Saints died, but he had also killed nearly 100 cultivators in that battle. There were also rumors that the Thunder Tribe had suffered greatly at his hands. Nangong Zue nodded. The Thunder Tribe didn't take revenge on him? The insect demon showed a hint of interest as he asked. No, the Thunder Tribe didn't take revenge on him. Moreover, 2 days ago, he shattered Nangong Su's legs in front of all the Nangong family masters, almost killing him. He was extremely arrogant. Nangong Zhe shook his head and said, "Our clan leader said that if you can kill Yi Chenfeng, our clan leader will give you 100 million top-grade soul crystals as a reward." Interesting. I didn't expect such an interesting person to appear in the Thunder territory while I was in seclusion. The insect demon revealed a playful smile and said, "Go back and tell Nangong Zheng that I accept this mission. In 7 days, I will bring his head to the Nangong family to collect the reward." Okay, here is all the information on Yi Chenfeng. We will wait for your good news at the Nangong family. Nangong Zhe glanced at the naked man and woman covered in gold-devouring bugs, who had already broken down mentally. He shook his head, left all the information on Yi Chenfeng, and turned to leave. Mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You'll be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1275. Mr. Yi, Master Zhou, this is the great elder of the Earth Yin sect, Yin Zhuyao, a powerful figure of nirvana. In the entire Thunder territory, there are only a few masters who can defeat Great Elder Yin Zhuyao. 3 days later, Yin Ruashi returned to the Zhou mansion with a skinny old man in a gray robe, who looked very inconspicuous but gave off a gloomy and cold feeling. With a senior presiding over the situation, all the problems would be solved. Knowing that the Earth Yin sect sent the only great elder of Nirvana to preside over the situation, Zhou Shanlong was overjoyed and said politely, "You're Yi Chenfeng, right?" Yin Zhuyao cast his eyes on Yi Chenfeng, secretly sizing him up, and said slowly, "I heard that the 3 saints of true thunder died in your hands." "I killed the 3 saints of true thunder." Yi Chenfeng nodded and said neither arrogantly nor humbly, as if he was talking about a trivial matter. Sure enough, heroes come from young. Looking at Yi Chenfeng's calm face, Yin Zhuyao showed a trace of appreciation and said, "If I didn't guess wrong, you are not from the Thunder territory, right?" "Well," Yi Chenfeng nodded. "Then why did you come to the Thunder territory?" Yin Zhuyao's turbid eyes shot out rays of light, and he looked at Yi Chenfeng and asked. For the Zhou family looking into Yin Zhuyao's eyes, Yi Chenfeng said frankly, "The Zhou family is blessed." Yin Zhuyao was stunned, and a profound smile appeared on his old face. With the arrival of Yin Zhuyao, the haze in the hearts of the Zhou family members disappeared. After the discussion between Yin Ruashi and Zhou Shanlong, the next morning, the two forces began to excavate the golden thunderstone mine discovered by Yi Chenfeng, and all the dangers in the stone mine were solved by Yin Zhuyao. The night was like a thick ink, so deep that it couldn't be dissolved. In the dead of night, Yin Ruashi, who was wearing a tight black dress that outlined her beautiful curves, came alone to the west courtyard where Yi Chenfeng practiced. "Master Yin, what brings you here so late at night?" Looking at her snow-white skin glistening under the moonlight and smelling the rich fragrance on her body, Yi Chenfeng couldn't help but praise her. This Yin Ruashi was definitely a seductress who could easily arouse the flames in men's hearts. If she was willing, there would be many who would be willing to prostrate themselves under her skirt. "Young Master Yi, I came here in the middle of the night to remind you that Nangong Zheng is a very narrow-minded person. You humiliated his most beloved son in public. With my understanding of him, he will definitely take revenge. She fiddled with the long hair hanging in front of her chest. Her red lips slightly parted as she slowly said, "Thank you for your reminder, Secmaster Een. However, since I dare to injure Nangong Su, I am not afraid of the Nangong clan's revenge." A confident smile appeared on Yi Chenfeng's handsome face. His deep eyes flashed with an aura that could conquer mountains and rivers. It was as if everything was under his control. "Young Master Yi, I really want to know what kind of person you are. I've never seen someone as captivating as you." Ruoshi held her chin with one hand and looked at Yi Chenfeng affectionately. At this moment, her charming appearance was completely revealed. "Master Een wouldn't be interested in me, right?" Yi Chenfeng looked at Ruoshi's charming eyes and asked with a slight smile, "What if I say yes?" The smile on Ruoshi's face became wider as she teased. "The result would probably disappoint Master Een," Yi Chenfeng said with a smile. "Why, does young Master Yi dislike me so much?" Ruoshi wasn't angry. She asked softly as if she had already expected this answer. This wasn't the case. Yi Chenfeng shook his head and said, "With Master Yin's charm, I think there are many people in the Thunder Territory who would be willing to work for you. But when you spoke just now, I didn't see any desire in your eyes, only benefits." "Ha ha! I didn't expect young Master Ye's observation to be so meticulous." Ruoshi let out a series of crisp laughter and said, "My earthly insect does have the intention to rope in young Master. For young Master, we are willing to oppose the Nangong family. Actually, you don't have to go through so much trouble. I won't be in the Thunder Territory for too long, but I want to find a loyal ally for the Zhou family. Is Master Een interested?" Yi Chenfeng looked at Ruoshi's beautiful face and asked softly. Ruoshi asked, "Young Master Ye's bargaining chip is Ruoshi. Before I leave, I will increase the overall strength of the earthly insect by a lot." Yi Chenfeng promised. Ruoshi's eyes lit up and said, "Young Master Yi, this is a serious matter. I can't make the decision alone. Can you let me discuss it with the Taishang elder?" Yi Chenfeng nodded and said, "But I don't want to wait too long." After Ruoshi left with a fragrance that made people's imagination run wild, Yi Chenfeng got rid of all distracting thoughts and began to cultivate. He believed that with Ruoshi's intelligence, she would definitely agree. Just as Yi Chenfeng took an ancient path pill and cultivated with the soul-devouring tactics until dawn, he suddenly opened his closed eyes and looked at the dark night sky through the window. The next moment, Yi Chenfeng's body flashed slightly and left the room, appearing in the dark night sky. At this moment, Yin Juyao, the supreme elder of the earthly Yin sect, also appeared at the first moment as he sensed the danger. He was confronting a handsome and elegant man in a dark green robe, but his robe was covered with insects. "Insect demon, why are you here?" Looking at the handsome insect demon, Yin Juyao's old face showed a trace of seriousness and asked in a low voice. Although Yin Juyao was powerful and had been cultivating nirvana for tens of thousands of years, he still showed fear in the face of the insect demon. Obviously, the insect demon's gold-devouring insects were a great threat to him. "Kill people." The insect demon revealed a mouthful of white teeth and said, "Kill who?" Yin Juyao frowned tightly. A strong uneasiness arose in his heart. "Kill those who should be killed and those who stop me," the insect demon said arrogantly. "You're here to kill me, right?" Wearing a black robe, Yi Chenfeng with an extraordinary aura appeared in the dark night. Looking at the insect demon who was emitting a strong, killing intent, he said indifferently, "Interesting, you're really an interesting person." Looking at Yi Chenfeng, who was only a level 5 combat beast emperor, the insect demon revealed a playful smile. Yi Chenfeng, the insect demon, is one of the 3 most ferocious people in the Thunder region. His strength is unfathomable. You're not his opponent. Quickly retreat. Yin Juyao also valued Yi Chenfeng. He was afraid that he would be at a disadvantage, so he quickly told him about the terror of the insect demon. "Yin Juyao, is your earthly insect really going to get involved?" The insect demon looked at Yin Juyao with sharp eyes and asked in a low voice, "Insect demon, if you're willing to leave, my earthly insect can give you a satisfactory reward." In Jiuyao really didn't want to fight with the insect demon, so he clenched his teeth and said, "Not interested." The insect demon said indifferently, "No one can save him today. Those who stop me will be killed." As he spoke, a large number of insect cries rang out from the insect demon's body. The insect demon had summoned his greatest trump card, the gold-devouring beetles. They densely covered the sky as he prepared to kill Yi Chinfeng. Mobile reading site, book address. In order to make it easier to read next time, you can click the bookmark at the bottom to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you can see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support.